we would like to remind everyone that spectators may not come onto the playing area at any time. These measures are in place for the safety of everyone this afternoon, particularly players and officials. So, as tempting as it may be, please don't do it. In the interest of safety and security, we ask you to keep your bags and belongings with you at all times. Any bags found unattended may be removed. So if you missed the coin toss at 2 o'clock, Glamorgan have won the toss and elected to bat. Let's take a look at the teams for today, starting with the Sussex Sharks in batting order. Ollie Carter, Daniel Hughes, Tom Alsop, James Coles, Finn Hudson-Prentice, John Simpson, Danny Lamb, Nathan McAndrew, Jack Carson, Ollie Robinson, and their captain, Tamal Mills. Now let's take a look at Glamorgan's team. Starting with the captain, Kieran Carlson, Eddie Byram, Sam Northeast, Colin Ingram. We heard from him earlier, Marnus Labuschagne, Chris Cook, Dan Delthwaite, Tom Bevan, Tim van der Gooten, Mason Crane, and Jamie McElroy.
Well, a very good afternoon to you and welcome to our live stream coverage of Glamorgan's Vitality Blast match against Sussex here at Surrey Gardens in Cardiff. It is a beautiful day here in South Wales. The sun is out and it's great to see families pouring in on a Sunday afternoon, having had their Sunday lunch and enjoying themselves down here, and a wonderful afternoon of cricket in prospect in this Vitality Blast T20 match here at Surrey Gardens. I'm delighted to say that alongside me in the commentary box this afternoon is a man that if you followed cricket in these parts over a number of years you'll know very well and probably love him. It's Matthew Maynard, former Glamorgan captain and coach. Great to see you, Matt.
Cheers, Ash.
And yeah, beautiful day, perfect setting for the match. Sussex are the visitors. What are their strengths going to be today, do you think?
It's a good question. I think they're kind of all round. I think probably just their bowling side edges it. Obviously Tymel Mills as captain now. He got fourth in their first game of the season. Led the attack with the overseas player Nathan McAndrew as well. And then they've got, I think, one of the best young off spinners in the country, Jack Carson, Northern Irish lad. But he's a very talented young spinner, and it's interesting because obviously we're playing on the same wicket as Friday night, so it'll be interesting to see if there's any change in the wicket. I've spoken to Groundsman earlier. He doesn't believe there'll be much change. He says it might spin a little bit more because it's been a beautiful day. It may have dried out a little bit more, so it might take a little spin, but you never really know until the first ball's bowled on it.
And Glamorgan have won the toss and they are going to bat as the Sussex team just get in their huddle and discuss their plans. And Matt, what did you make of Glamorgan's first match on Friday night? They lost by 19 runs against Surrey, and the batting was actually pretty good. It was perhaps the fielding side that let them down.
Yeah, I think Surrey ended up 25-30 more than what they should have got, and that was down to the drop catches, which obviously went for runs then as well, but it meant that you haven't got a new batsman coming in to take strike again. So ultimately they had I think 6 catches went down and a couple of missed fields, and it was kind of unlike Glamorgan. I mean, I know last year the fielding, they dropped a few catches, but the ground fielding is normally as good as you'll come across anywhere in the country. So it was disappointing that that so many catches did actually go down. But I did notice that the light was kind of a little bit indifferent as the sun starts to go just behind. Whether that made any difference, I'm not sure. But it's normally we kind of try and pride ourselves, or we'll try and pride themselves on their fielding. It's how you can win games. Snatch games from defeat if you're a couple of brilliant bits of fielding. So I think that was really cost them. But I think they also take heart from how close they got in the end. Chris Cook's innings at the end, and both the overseas players struggled a little bit at the start of the innings to get used to the pace and how Surrey were hitting the pitch so hard.
So it's Eddie Byram and Kieran Carlson opening the batting for Glamorgan, and you'll recognise the man there with the ball in his hand. It's Ollie Robinson, the England Test bowler, who is going to open proceedings from the River Taff end here at Surrey Gardens. So here we go. And the first ball moves off the pitch and straight through to the wicketkeeper John Simpson. In fact, it moved so far it's been called a wide. So the Glamorgan total underway.
Be interesting to see if Ollie Robinson gets any swing here today. Tends to angle into the right-handers, but he does have the ability to actually swing one back to a left-hander as well. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes with the new ball.
That one looked like it seamed away, but he started it a bit too wide. Byron makes contact, and he's off the mark with a single down to deep point.
And opening the bowling for Sussex from the River End, Ollie Robinson.
So Ollie Robinson, a tall man. You'll have seen him play a lot of international cricket. I guess probably had quite a hard time on the England tour. Looked like his maybe speeds were down a little bit compared to what he has been bowling. But then he comes again. And Carlson drives to a good length ball, but can't get it away.
And when he's on song, Ollie Robinson is a fine bowler. A red ball bowler. He doesn't miss a good length too often. He nibbles it a little bit. He can, as I mentioned earlier, swing it a little bit as well. But it's all been down to his fitness, hasn't it, over the years, and whether he can maintain his fitness for international cricket.
Right on the money again.
I think Kieran Carlson at the top of the order was a magnificent find for Glamorgan last season. I'll be honest, when I was head coach, I didn't really see Kieran fit in this role. He was more of a middle order, run quick between the wickets, really put the opposition under pressure, but it suited him superbly last season.
He's the white ball captain, of course. Swings and misses, and that one did shape away.
Nice carry on the pitch, that. It's gone through lovely there to Simpson. Yeah.
Yeah, this was the pitch, I think, that was prepared for the international match that was unfortunately abandoned without a ball being bowled on Tuesday night. It was used again on Friday night for the game against Surrey. And another wide, the second one of the over. Again, ball just moving the other way.
That was such a shame, wasn't it, the international being with the weather they had, because I know that it was a sellout down here. It would have been a magnificent atmosphere, because it generally is with a full house here. Even, on Friday night there was a terrific atmosphere here,
Yeah. And the Pakistan supporters, they were terrific, even if it was raining. They just stayed and cheered late into the night. So Carlson tries to get first run off the bat, shies at the stumps. It actually hits him, deflects, but I don't think he's going to run anymore. Just settles for the one, and so Carlson's off the mark.
Spirit of cricket.
Yep, that's it. I think everyone these days expects, when they see a deflection like that, remembering the World Cup final, just to collect the runs. But not here. Oh, another beauty from Robinson. And that's the over. So 4 runs from it, just 2 from the bat, a couple of wides, but very tight. He's hitting his length straight away, Matt.
Yeah, that's his high skill, if you like. I think he's that kind of bowler that when he hits the pitch hard, he gets that movement off it. We saw one ball swing away to Kieran Carlson, a couple swing away to the left-handed Eddie Byram, one to nip off the pitch as well. So yeah, when he's on song, he's a beautiful bowler, and it looks effortless, doesn't it? When he bowls.
So it looks like we're going to turn to spin straight away from the Cathedral Road end. This is James Coles. And Carlson has a flash outside off stump and gets it away. Beats the man, and that's the first 4 of the Glamorgan innings.
Just that intent from Kieran. Gave himself room, always looking to go over extra cover there. Thick edge 4 runs.
It was maybe a bit close for comfort. Almost went to the man, but just went to his left hand, and he'll be fairly good with his first boundary. And he follows it with another one. Beautiful shot. Just over the man at cover, and successive boundaries for Carlson.
You can see with his demeanour, just giving himself some room, that he really wants to try and take Coles down here, and it's a very productive start to the over. 2 boundaries.
In the first match here on Friday, the seamers certainly were dominant. They seemed to have a much better time of it, so it's an interesting move to go to spin straight away in the power play.
Yeah. quite interesting, isn't it? You know, you have your tactics, and some sides are quite flexible with those tactics, others are a bit more inflexible.
And swept, and that's another boundary. Third of the over.
And by stepping away there, the bowler's tried to follow Kieran, and he's just helped it on its way. That was a very well controlled shot.
So Kieran Carlson, the captain, is ticking now. This time, just a single. Works it up to mid-on. In the game on Friday against Surrey, the top order, really the first 3 wickets went down pretty quickly for Glamorgan in their chase. And it was Ingram, Labuschagne and Cook who got Glamorgan quite close in the end. So I think the top order will hope to do a bit better today. That one's short and pulled away. Lovely shot. The spin experiment's not really working here for Sussex. 4 boundaries, an expensive over.
Premeditated sweep there by Eddie Byram. The bowler probably saw him do it, dropped it a little bit shorter, but he was still reacted fantastically well to almost play a front foot pull sweep, if there is such a thing.
He hit it well, it sounded good off the bat, and that was 17 off the over there. Of course, in the power play, the first 6 overs, only 2 fielders allowed out, outside the circle. Oh, that's an aggressive shot, but it didn't really time it. He swung, and I was expecting it to rocket towards the far side screen there.
He swung very hard, didn't he?
He did.
Just spliced it almost. No, thick inside edge.
We had a few of those on Friday night. Whacked back at the bowlers. Tim van der Hoofden was hit on the back by one from when Jamie Smith was in full flow.
How well did Jamie Smith bat? It was almost effortless, some of the 6s he hit. Just pure timing.
Byron gives himself some room. And an easy single.
I think that's the biggest change really in the T20. When Jamie Smith came in for Surrey, and even though there were wickets falling around him, he carried on, and his strike rate of 200 at the end of his innings just showed that he wasn't then looking to build. And I think our 2 overseas players just built for a little bit too long, and then it made the scoring rate get up to 14 or just under.
Carlson again, that's high, out into the leg side. This one could be out, and it is. Kieran Carlson goes, is the first Glamorgan wicket to fall. Caught in the deep there from the bowling of Ollie Robinson. And it's Finn Hudson-Prentice with the catch. So 23 for 1, and the captain goes.
Kieran Carlson caught by Finn.
Should they have just bounced a little bit more? It's the one thing that Ollie Robinson does do. He does get a little bit of bounce, and it's just, I think, the top edge of the bat rather than the middle there for Kieran. It's probably not a bad option for him to go for. Just the execution and maybe just the extra bit of bounce was his undoing there.
So that brings Sam Northeast.
I don't think it does.
Is it?
I think it's Chris Cook.
It's Chris Cook. Interesting. Cook batted 6 in the last match. Yeah, he's been moved up, and no surprise, got 40 or 15 balls on Friday night, and was heading the ball incredibly cleanly. One memorable shot that sailed straight over the scoreboard. One of the biggest hits, someone was telling me this morning, that they've ever seen here at the ground.
It was a huge hit, because we're playing on the test or the international wicket, which is right in the centre of the square.
And this one's wide. Quick kind of swing at it. Umpire may have been tempted to stretch his arms out there, but just inside the little blue line.
It's an interesting move from Grant Bradburn. This very positive move, obviously Sam Northeast is a fine player himself, and obviously shoving the overseas players a little bit more down the order as well.
Yeah, Cook can score very, very quickly when he gets going. It's a good ball, and Cook just pushes that down behind square on the offside.
It's quite a big difference though, Ash, in between, you know, whether you're batting lower middle order coming in with 8-10 overs to go, 5-4 overs to go, to actually coming in when there's still 17.1 or 17.2 overs to go. The mindset as a batsman is different.
Robinson on target. And that's the end of the over. So Glamorgan 23 for 1. Eddie Byram's on 6. And Ollie Robinson not giving much away here. He's taking his first wicket. So, as expected, the spin experiment didn't really work for Sussex. And no surprise really to see the captain, the spearhead really of this Sussex attack, Tamal Mills. He's got pace, of course the angle, left armour as well, something a bit different. Experienced T20 player. So we've had Ollie Robinson got some carry, let's see what Tamal Mills gets. And straight away, Chris Cook has smashed him over the boundary for 6.
That was a super shot. Super, almost looked as if he was almost waiting for a short ball, and wow, he hit it beautifully. Right over mid-wicket. Doesn't matter where the fielders are, that would have cleared anyone by plenty over him.
Real power, such fast hands. He's not a big man, Chris Cook, quite slight, only about 5'9" and slightly built, but he does generate a lot of power. And that's an area he likes. Tried to bowl more at the body and got the line wrong there. So another wide to the total. Just one man on the deep square leg boundary.
Brought a change of field, didn't it? That first shot brought the deep cover up and replaced him with a deep backward square.
Oh, leading edge. Gets away with it.
Just a little bit of swing there. The ball before, which was called wide, just went down the, and that one's just kind of gone away from Chris Cook a fraction. Not much, but just enough to catch the leading edge there, and fortunate that he's got a couple of runs for that, but he'll take them no matter how they come.
So Cook on 9 off the first 4 balls he's faced. Fuller and slower, and they scamper home for a single.
It's good cricket.
He's got good variations, Tamal Mills. Obviously express pace, but he does seem to have a really lovely slow ball.
Good slow ball, very good slow ball out the back of the hand. But Chris Cook read that really well and just dropped the ball close by and enable them to get the single. Just smart cricket.
$90 mile an hour man on his day, Mills. Now look for 2, get it comfortably. We're good over this for Glamorgan so far. We're already into double figures. I'm sure he's going to have to hurry. And he did. Got there. Good direct hit from Danny Lamb. He was standing at mid-on. But Barham set off. No hesitation. And was home comfortably.
Change of angle from Tymel Mills now to Chris Cook. He's going to try and attack him round the wicket.
So will Cook be able to maybe help it round the corner? It's a short ball. Cook, I think, rehearses a shot, was hoping perhaps he could have lifted that over the keeper.
Didn't need much on it, did he, with both third man and short fine leg up. He was trying to go over that short third man there.
Yep, it would have gone a long
way,
way,
all the way, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Almost a double bluff, isn't it?
It was.
You set your field and then bring the guys up and then throw in a bouncer.
Well, great to see so many families in here today. There's lots of fun going out behind the pavilion where we have, it's you call it an emergency services special. There's a fire engine out there, so lots of children enjoying looking at the fire engine out there. Lots to do, lots to eat. It's a lovely Sunday afternoon here. And that's been picked up into the leg side. Where's that gone? It's out. He's picked the man out on the boundary, and Eddie Barham has gone for just 3.
Just picked him right out there, didn't he? He just helped the ball on the angle. Helped the ball with the angle, but he just picked the fielder out.
Yeah, picked it up nicely, but didn't get enough on it. Yeah, regulation catch. So now Sam Northeast is the new batsman. Move one down the order. Morgan's rate has been decent, but they're losing wickets. 37 off the first 4. 2 more in the power play to go. And McAndrew, one of the 2 Aussies in the Sussex side, has struck with his first ball.
Must be a nice feeling that as a bowler.
Yeah.
Especially in T20 cricket. You get a wicket with your first ball. You know the new batsman he'll have a little look, because Glamorgan won't want to go 3 down in the power play ideally here.
No, that's what happened on Friday, and it left them with quite a lot to do.
It's nice that Nathan McAndrew has had a change of heart with a number on his shirt. He's now sporting 43. Back when he first came over, he had a big fat 0 on the back, and he actually went wicketless for ages playing for Warwickshire. So I think since he's moved down to the south coast, he decided to put a number on it.
Yeah, that seems sensible. Aborts the run up.
I was down watching some Fagans play Usk yesterday, and the Usk opening batsman had a 0 on the back of his shirt. I thought, that's quite confident to go out as an opening batsman. Doesn't matter what standard you're playing, with a 0 on your back.
Probably even more confident to put 100 on the back. That might be even more confident.
Yeah. Chris Gale, of course, had 333 on the back of his shirt.
Yeah.
But he wasn't shy, was he?
No, that's one thing. You call yourself the universe boss. Reticence and shyness is not a characteristic that you would associate with him. But we loved him for it. It was, what a fun cricketer.
Superb cricketer. Superb batsman, all 3 formats.
So, Northeast, yet to get off the mark. But he is now. Up-ish. And only a single. Perhaps trying to target that offside boundary with no sweeper out there at the moment. Just got to get it over the men saving one on the offside. That one was a thick edge, and luckily for him went through the gap. Oh, the innovation. I think he's played that well. Is it going to reach the boundary? That is beautifully played. Wow. The ramp shot, perfectly executed by Chris Cook. And that's another boundary to his name.
That is fantastic cricket. I think McAndrew saw him do that and took a lot of pace off the ball. So you saw Cook had to actually give it a little bit to get it over the top of the keeper.
Had to shovel it over his shoulder as if he was digging a hole with a spade. Yep. Beautifully done. I think you've got to be pretty brave to attempt that sort of shot against any fast bowler. And this one's wide and slapped through the covers for 4. We've seen the 360 Cook here.
He's so dangerous. He's such a dangerous player, white ball player. Remember, we put him up to 3 in the 50 over competition about 3 years ago or 4 years ago. Got 191 against Gloucester. A terrific, adaptable player. Old head now as well, isn't he? Testimonial year, of course, this year for him.
Yeah, he's in his mid-30s, isn't he? I think 35, 36. Still looks much younger than that.
Looks after himself.
Yep. He's going nicely here.
Ollie Robinson back on for his 3rd over. Just trying to hit that length as we saw with that last ball again. Just good length, make the batsman try and go a bit risky on him.
Yeah, great economy. Ollie Robinson just went for 7 runs in his first 2 overs. Really tidy. And got the wicket as well, of course, of Kieran Carlson.
It looks a good wicket. I think the Glamorgan will be looking for probably a minimum of 170 today. It looks, there's been good carry. Slower balls don't appear to have done anything off the pitch, not gripped and held or moved at all. And there was certainly no spin on the 1 over that we did see.
Again, right on target. Cook can just squirt that out. That's a thickish inside edge, I think, down to the man sweeping on the square leg boundary.
That top of the stumps line and length is very underrated in short form cricket, because if you get a hold of one, it's the one that goes to the biggest of 6s, but it's also hard to start against it and score freely from it.
And that one's driven over the top.
Lovely shot.
And 4 runs. Sam Northeast's first boundary. A little wider.
Intent, wasn't it, Ash? That movement again from Sam Northeast, just to give himself a bit of room. Ollie Robinson, I don't know whether he tried for the Yorker, wider Yorker there, but it was too full and it got dispatched.
That's the first boundary that Robinson's conceded. And again, great intent, and powers this down the ground. That's a wonderful shot from Sam Northeast. Clean strike.
Again, he's just gone a bit fuller on that one as well, just missing his length here the last 2, and he's been punished for it.
So 10 off the over so far, with one left. This is the last ball of the power play. Fuller again. A little crowd cheer there. They thought that carried to the man at short third, but it was a bump ball. And that's the end of the over. So 10 from it, from Ollie Robinson. And Glamorgan 56 for 2.
I think they'll be very happy with the start there, the power play start. Obviously 1 wicket probably more than they'd want ideally, but 2 wickets isn't too bad, especially now that you'll have either Ingram or Labuschagne coming in at number 6 in the order. So batting quite low down there, and obviously with Dan Douthwaite at 7, Tom Bevan at 8. Back fairly deep, Glamorgan in this side.
Okay, so as soon as the power play's over, back to spin. This is James Coles. Back, I think. Yep. From the River Taff end. Cook gives himself room. So immediately now, 5 men back. It's 3 saving 1 on the offside and a short fine leg inside the ring. And there are men deep, straight, 2, 1 on either side, 2 men on the leg side, and also a sweeper on the cover boundary as well. Northeast pushes off the back foot, just beats the man at short cover. Daniel Hughes got a hand to it, so he may have stopped a run there. Makes run again northeast, but finds his man, but gets a quick call from Cook. Oh, well judged. Cook was coming to the danger end, and he set off straight away.
Just firing it in, isn't he, Coles?
Yeah.
Bowling quick, not really looking to spin it at all, just looking to bowl that top of the stump length, the length that will, if the batter misses it, it's just clipping the top of the bails, that kind of length there, sliding down the leg side.
Yeah, bowling high 50s, quicker one just over 60.
Saying that, if I was a spin bowler, I don't think I'd be bowling too slowly in this format of the game.
No. So 4 off the over. Glamorgan 60 for 2 from 7, so a good start.
Nice tan Cymraeg. Sign there. Obviously that's next month.
Absolutely, all looking forward to the 100. Always an exciting competition.
That could be 2. I'm going to push hard for that.
Oh, yes. He's coming back. Well run. Very well run. Chris Cook was coming up to the danger end, and well, we've seen shots all around the ground from him, and we've seen how quick he is between the wickets as well.
Which is strange, where every time we do the sprint tests early season, he's way down the list on players, but with the pads on, I believe he's one of the quickest we have between the wickets.
Oh, that's a beamer. Immediately called a no ball. A little apology from Danny Lamb.
Did he try a slow ball there, Ash? I think he may have done, but it certainly didn't come out right. That'll be a warning for the bowler. If he bowls another one over waist high, he won't be allowed to bowl again. Yeah, he tried a slow ball there. Done very well to hit that, to be fair. Old Sam Northeast.
Yeah, he has. And of course, it's a free hit.
Free hit for Chris Cook now.
And Cook's on strike, so where's this going to go? You're thinking maybe leg side, but let's see where he bowls it. It's short, and Chris Cook can't connect.
It's a good bounce to that. Probably the ball that Chris was least expecting.
Yeah.
You know, it probably looked, is he going to try a Yorker, try and get it full? And he's gone opposite and took Cook by surprise there.
Short again and slower, and this one's straight up in the air. This should be out. Oh! And it has been dropped. Wow, what a mix-up that was. In the end, it was Ollie Robinson who tried to take the catch. Because I think it was Daniel Hughes running towards to try and take it. He slipped on the square, ended up flat on his back. Let's have a look at the replay here. In the end, the important fact is they've managed to miss it. Slip.
And then Robinson just had to go one-handed. And he looks at his teammate.
I think you can only laugh about those. Oh, and Cook tries to take advantage. So that's a let off.
It's a big let off. Full spikes you need.
Yeah.
A little bit of greenery on the square. Not much. There's where the old practice wickets have been. That's quite dry and brown, but just alongside there's lush grass, and obviously slipped on that. Good partnership of 32 already developing here.
Yep.
Maintaining that strong late 8s run rate, nearly 9 and over run rate.
Yeah, both on northeast goings are just a bit better than the runner ball. And Cook pulls that one away. Again, slower ball. Finds the man at the deep square leg boundary, so it's just a single. And at the end of the 8th over.
Get ready, get your arms up in catch mode, please.
Glamorgan 70 for 2. So lots of fantastic cricket coming up here at Sapphire Gardens over the next month. So one for your diary, Thursday the 13th of June, when it's a double header. Not only do you get to see Glamorgan play Hampshire in the Blast, but there's also Western Storm against Lancashire Thunder here on the same day.
Be a great day, that, I think. The ladies' game's growing so quickly these days, and it's a fine spectacle, I think. And we've seen that with the 100, with the Welsh Fire ladies team as well. The crowds come in, and it's packed out, and great atmosphere for the girls' game. Hopefully, we'll be able to do the same on June 13 for the Western Storm match.
Cook drives and just gets a single to the man down there at deep mid-off. Bowling full, not giving much to get underneath here, Coles.
Just trying to fire it in, isn't he? And what he's done quite well, actually. He's varied his length to that very full one, or just slightly back of a length.
Intent from Cook, didn't really get hold of that. So just another single to the total. Again, attempted reverse sweep, reverse slog sweep. Didn't really make contact. It did enough just to add another one to the total.
Bowled, very well bowled. Chris Cook just gave him some room there, didn't he? Just bowled that wide, full ball. Almost wide Yorker there.
Yeah, great over from Coles after getting whacked about in the first one. He's come back brilliantly, actually.
Yeah, he's come back very well. You can actually see why they would want to try and bowl him in the power play. It was just that Carlson's intent against him put him under pressure from ball one, but he's come back very strongly.
From the Cathedral Road end, Tamal Mills.
So the fast left arm of Tamal Mills from the Cathedral Road end. This one's cut away. Will it beat them? A sweeper. Great bit of work down there on the boundary to keep him to 1.
Super bit of field in this.
Really well hit.
About 15 yards to his left, but gets up quickly and releases.
It's Tom Alsop down there, doing a good job for his team. And again, Chris Cook again shaping to, maybe he's doing a little bit too early. Is he shaping to play the round?
When you commit, it's a premeditated shot. He squares himself up, looking to go over third man there, but Tyrell Mills very cleverly just took a lot of pace off that delivery, and made it very tough for Chris Cook then to try and play the shot. He was looking probably for anything from knee height through to head height to try and play that reverse.
Fine leg and third man are both up, so that's a good shot if he can connect with it. Fuller drives, and this is in the air, should be out, and it is. Danny Lamb takes the catch, and that unfortunately is the end of Chris Cook, who goes for 27, caught by Danny Lamb off the bowling of Tamal Mills.
Chris Cook, out.
Shame that.
It is a shame. We saw all the skills. We saw him play drive through the covers, sweep, power hitting.
Bit of everything.
It was. And some great running between the wickets. But unfortunately, that one just went straight up in the air. And it was an easy catch. So 3 down now, Glamorgan. And that brings Colin Ingram to the crease. So another fantastic player. Definitely a man who's up there if you're going to debate the greatest white ball players in Glamorgan history.
He's there. He's top of the list. I think he's been phenomenal over the years for Glamorgan. Very consistent, and he had a terrific blast year last season, and started off. He found it hard against Surrey pace bowlers. Didn't really get his rhythm early in his innings. But we know when he does get going, he's one of the best, and he's got a fantastic strike rate in this format of the game.
So his first ball, and it's short, and he cuts it away. I think it's only going to be 1, but straight off the mark.
I can just imagine the next man in, Marnus Labuschagne, will be in that dugout. He'll be fidgeting, he'll be waiting to go. He just needs to, I'm sure, keep his mind as calm as he possibly can, because he's going to be coming in with maybe 10, 8 overs, 7 overs, 6 overs. Hopefully these guys can get another partnership going, because he played really well on Friday night.
He did. Really gave Glamorgan some hope when things were very difficult, but he hung around, got a 50.
And it's testimony how Sussex have pulled themselves back into this contest. The run rate's now under 8 and over, where it was touching 9 and over just a couple 3 overs ago.
Yeah, James Coles has done really well with the spin from the far end, and Mills, well, he's been economical as well. Taking a wicket this over, of course, out of Chris Cook. And we've seen a lot of variation, speed, and the slower balls. And that's a short one.
That's quick. That's carried through comfortably to Simpson, who's, well, probably about 5 yards off the 30-metre circle there, or 5 metres off the 30-metre circle. Get my metric and imperial all mixed up there. Flew through to him, took it at his shoulder height. Decent crowd in, not as big as Friday night. which was, as I mentioned earlier, a terrific atmosphere.
It was excellent down here, really lovely. And of course, it's a great evening or a great afternoon. Amazing food options here at Glamorgan. There's halal and vegan options as well. So something for everyone, and also lots of entertainment for the children as well, if you want to bring the family down. Of course, the main thing is great cricket, always guaranteed. Oh,
Jack Carson into the attack. It's the off spinner I spoke about earlier. Huge potential, but that one kind of went a bit wrong there.
False start. Oh.
Of course, this competition's massive for not only the Glamorgan players, but every player playing in the county, trying to get into the 100. The wild card picks, the 2 wild card picks that come towards the back end of the T20 Blast.
So what's happening here? There's a little chat between the umpires. He hit the stumps, broke the stumps with the ball as he was swinging his arm over. No, don't think anything's come of it. Oh, in fact, it's been called a free hit, so that has been given as a no ball.
Free hit.
And so it's a free hit.
It's a bit harsh, I think.
I've seen
Slipped
that
out of
before.
his hand, isn't it? Or he's hit his knee on the way through.
Yeah.
Great shot.
And Sam North East has played that beautifully.
Oh, that's
It's
all
all the way for 6. Wow, the timing on that shot.
That's the biggest ground. They've actually brought the boundaries in a little bit more from Friday night's game, but in the far corners there, that's still got to be 80-85 metre hit over extra cover. What a terrific shot.
It was. Wonderful shot from Sam North East. Great power. It's a long way down there. Yeah, Jamal Mills, 88, nearly 89 miles an hour, that last bouncer.
Yeah. It's pace. Good pace, that. And because he varies his pace quite a lot, he'll probably seem even quicker, because not every ball's his maximum effort ball.
Carson.
Very similar to those great West Indies bowlers back in the day. They used to bowl about 85% of their maximum, and you think you're all set against them. And then they just unleash 100%, and it was whee.
So Ingram sweeps. Doesn't make solid contact, but they get through for a single.
Tymel showing his skills there, throwing right-handed. Of course, left arm, quick bowler, throws right arm. Good number of those in the game. Jack Leach, the left arm spinner down at Somerset in England, he throws right-handed too.
Pulls this one, but again, there's a man there on the boundary. Just one. It's
Surrey
phone joining in the commentary. There's 3 of us in the commentary box at the moment.
Some technical difficulties there. Yeah, the com box.
So lovely afternoon here. Great to see the children here, enjoying themselves. Cold drink in hand, that's the way to do it.
Hydration. If you're thirsty, it's too late, as my assistant coach used to say, Dave Harrington. That was his beer. If you're thirsty, it's too late. Stay hydrated.
So Nathan McAndrew back into the attack. Plays for South Australia. That's
Nice
cut away.
shot.
Good shot. I think it's probably going to be 2. Great piece of fielding down on the boundary. Good work. I think who's that? Ollie Carter down there, I think.
Yeah, Ollie Carter. Super dive, stop. Recovered quickly to prevent the 3rd run.
Oh, great commitment.
Glamorgan will be looking to try and get the 100 up in this over. Try and get it up before the end of the 12th over.
And will that beat the man? Oh, another good piece of fielding. It's the captain.
Leading by example there, wasn't he?
Yeah. I guess with his history of back trouble, I imagine every dive like that, your heart's in your mouth a little bit, but he did really well for his side there, setting the example.
He's in great physical shape, mind.
Yeah.
He's a proper athlete. His just body couldn't stand up to the rigours of the longer format of the game. But in these franchise cricket around the world, of course IPL, one of the first UK players to hit it big over there with his £1 million contract, £1 million contract.
This one's out round the corner again. One more to northeast.
Gotta say, the ground's looking great, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
Obviously the bare wickets, which I talked about earlier, but the outfield and the square, and you can see the wickets that he's getting ready. I think two away from this pitch is the next wicket. Will be preparing for the next T20 games.
Ingram. Again, not making full contact with that. Could only really sort of squirt it out down to fine leg. One more.
Just looking for that boundary, isn't he, Ash? He's looking for that boundary just to get him going. He normally smolts those just behind square, hits them really hard. He just got a bit quick on him, more splice of the bat.
The seamers varying their pace, which I suppose makes it difficult. It makes it harder, puts doubt in the mind. You don't always get what you're expecting. This time cuts away. Down to the man at deep third man. One more.
Glamorgan's still on track for that 170 as a kind of minimum. You know, 165, 170, 180 would be, I think, a good score here today. Just brought their boundaries in a little bit from Friday night. 10 metres on there towards the grandstand, and just 2 or 3 metres from the pavilion.
Ingram made better contact with this one, and I think this is going to go all the way. That's for Colin Ingram finally connect, and that's the first boundary in a little while.
That's the boundary Colin's been looking for. Hopefully that'll just get him going.
Yeah, it's been quite a relatively slow start by his standards. 7 off 8 balls. That boundary certainly helped, getting him up there to almost a runner ball. I guess that's the bare minimum really for the top order batsman. You can catch up quickly in this game, that's the thing.
Can catch up quickly, yeah.
From the river end.
Just want to try and stop the dots.
Swept. Where's this gone? I think he's got it.
He's got all
yeah,
that.
There's 6. Great shot. Sam Northeast sweeps for 6.
I think initially he was looking to go over extra cover. If we look on the replay, gives himself room for that extra cover. He follows him, and great reaction there then from Sam Northeast to plonk that over the deep square leg boundary.
And all of a sudden he's on 36. Gone there relatively quietly. 1 or 2 lovely shots. There was that 6 over cover, and now that one there. Comes down the ground, drives straight.
Just be the single.
So, just one more needed for the Glamorgan 100.
No, they got that with a 6.
Oh, they got it. Sorry.
That 6 took it. First ball of the 13th over.
Apologies. We're just waiting for our graphics to catch up a little bit here.
Oh, he's gone for the old Yorker for the last 2 balls on the trot, and very well bowled actually. 17 he went, I think, in his first over, didn't he, Ash? And
yep, it was expensive, but he's come back really well. Gives himself some room and drives straight. Finds the man. Got to hit it pretty straight there to get a 4, haven't you? Almost straight back over the bowler. Over the umpire's head's the ideal place. Just rotating the strike. And that's the end of the over. So 109 for 3, Glamorgan. After the 13th over, just 7 left now. And in reasonable shape.
Yeah, they'll be fairly happy with that. I think it's a good basis now for a good onslaught. And they could look now with 7 wickets still in the dugout to go and try and hit every ball for 4 or 6. Really, that's the mentality. It's free. The old CSK had that in the IPL, and if they're 1 down at the 11th over, then that's where they just try and hit every ball. And they've got a great launch pad now to really give the Welsh public something to shout about.
So it's Danny Lamb, and that's been driven straight. That's a great shot. I think that's going to be the man, and it does. Colin Ingram, straight down the ground. Terrific fall. Good start, putting the pressure on the bowler at the start of the over. Giving Danny Lamb something to think about.
It's a clever shot. Has he got it fine enough? Nope. Looking for another boundary there, just got a little bit too much bat on it to take it round, a bit squarer than he I think wanted.
Yeah, made a good connection.
Just didn't beat Mills on the inside there.
Very skillful shot, those very hard to play. Northeast. Again, stepped away to try and give himself a bit of room, and the ball followed him.
Mentioned earlier, it's gone through nicely. That one's just come in on the angle, cramped northeast for a bit of space there, for a bit of room.
So there's 2 men now behind square on the offside, maybe looking for one of those balls. He's going to try and run into that area for a catch.
We'll be looking for another boundary off one of the last 2 balls of this over.
Short, pulled away, got good connection, but again, Sussex have the fielders in the right places.
Just the single.
Yep. So final ball of the 14th over. Just 6 left after this. That's been well hit. Oh, and straight through the hands, straight through the legs. And a welcome boundary.
Yeah, that's what Glamorgan needed off the last ball there, otherwise the over was just going for 8. But that, I think 11 off it there with 2 boundaries, 1 dot ball and 3 singles.
James Coles is the man down there, who's going to be teased by the crowd for the next couple of overs. So 120 for 3 now, Glamorgan. Sam North East on 43. Colin Ingram on 19.
If someone can play a little Cook type of innings that we saw on Friday night here, one could be 190 to even 200 if it all clicks.
Well, Ingram's the sort of player who could do that.
Most definitely.
Labuschagne still to come, of course, next in. And then as Chris Cook has already been and gone, it'll be Dan Douthwaite coming in at 7. So North East 43 from 30 balls. Bouncer. And it's been given as a no ball. A bit too high.
No ball.
I actually do feel sorry for bowlers, you know. It wasn't. It may have clipped the top of his helmet that if he'd stood there. And it's so hard to call as well from the umpires. It's one of the most probably inconsistent things in the game. There's no more bouncers when they are given, when they're not.
That's right. And cut. Just the one. So North East giving himself a real platform here, giving himself a chance. Glamorgan well set, you'd think, for that charge. Colin Ingram's been relatively quiet, it feels. And there we go.
There he goes.
That's changed. Big 6, straight over the top.
That ball will have to be given back to the umpires to check for concrete damage, I think. That was a lovely strike.
Right into the back row there. Evasive action needed. This format of the game, you do have to keep your eyes on the ball, even in the crowd here. And someone like Colin Ingram at the crease. Goes again, this time on the leg side. Oh!
It's just plugged a bit, hasn't it? And the fielder, expecting it to be slightly quicker off the surface, has ended up running past it.
Ooh, it's really stop and turn, didn't it?
Yeah, just plugged a bit. Sand-based.
Yeah. Not a nice feeling. Again, the fans will be reminding him of that down there in the corner. He's done a good job there, Ollie Carter, all day. Pulls Ingram this time again. Has he bisected the 2? He has. It's another 4 for Colin Ingram. He's really going now. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, 3 boundaries in a row in successive balls. And a couple of overs like this, Matt, and you think that, well, that 190 total.
Yeah, this is Ingram at his best, isn't it? You know, the first he pitched one up, he got hit into the stand. He put the next 2 shorter, one which he bisected beautifully, long on and deep mid-wicket, and then this last one between deep mid-wicket and deep backward square. Very skillful bowl, and changing the field, finally comes up, long off goes, or mid-off, goes back to long off. But this is the best of Colin Ingram.
He's up to 34. Fuller delivery this time.
Good old-fashioned Yorker. Hit that out the park if you can.
What a great over for Glamorgan, that one. That's 14 off the over. In fact, a little bit more than that. That's 18 off the over. So a few more of those going for some high teens and into the 20s. That makes a massive difference, doesn't it? The score just suddenly seems to take a leap forward.
Yeah,
one of those.
They need the partnership to keep going. It's as we saw when Colin first came in, and Sam North East to an extent. Took them a little while to get going, to get used to the surface, to get used to the bowlers. If they can maintain this partnership, who knows what score is possible.
64 partnership between these two, so been really good.
The prediction is 188. Let's see on the Wasp.
Slower ball, but cut away behind square. They're looking for at least 2, and it's gone all the way. It was beautifully timed by Ingram. Beat the man racing round, and Colin Ingram has suddenly found his feet. The ball is flying to all parts.
It's the placement. You know, it's the placement of the shot to beat the man saving the single or on the edge of the circle, and then obviously to beat the man. Just got to hit that perfectly, and he did that. He's ticking now.
Had to wait for it. Mills had taken all the pace off. So 1 for 16 for Mills up to this point. Slow ball Yorker this time. Lots of tricks as Tamal Mills. And when you can do that and back it up with 90-mile-an-hour bowling as well, that's a great armoury to have. Coming over the wicket. Oof. And he's bowled him. I think he's bowled him.
Inside edge,
he's chopped on onto the stumps. And that's the end of Colin Ingram. Well, it's a real shame.
Just starting to go there, wasn't he? He's got his strike rate close to 200 there, and last couple of balls done with a slower one and then the faster one. It's just, yeah, he's just chopped it on inside edge, just clipped the off stump.
Yeah, just clipped it, went straight through to the keeper. I wasn't quite sure what had happened straight away. It looked like he'd missed everything. But then the bail came off, and that's the end of Colin Ingram. 39 from 23. Really was starting to go there. It's a shame for this crowd that we can't see him go on for a couple more overs, because he was really finding his feet, that was starting to hit the ball to all parts and timing it really well. But still, he's left Glamorgan in a good position. 143 for 4, with still 4.5 overs to go. And Sam Northeast well set on 44. So it brings Marnus Labuschagne to the crease.
I don't think he'll be batted in this position too many times in his career, in his T20 careers. 4.3 overs to go. It's not. It'll be interesting to see how he goes. I'm going to be intrigued by how he goes here. He'll be busy, we know that, because that's Marnus. He's just a very busy cricketer. Probably look to use the angles, use the pace of Mills. Well, let's see.
Oh, and he has demolished. I think that's leg stump out of the ground. Wow. Tamal Mills, express bowling. Labuschagne, first ball, he's gone, and that's a big blow for Sussex.
And a big blow for Glamorgan as well, who'd want Marnus to try and get in there. It looked a great delivery, to be fair to him.
Yeah, that was quick. Swinging in. It was wide on the crease, and the leg stump straight out the ground. So, 2 in 2.
2 in 2, hat-trick ball. Dan Douthwaite. Yeah. Why'd you wear number 88, Dan? Because it rhymes. Really? Yeah. Why didn't you just go for 8? Oh, I didn't think of that. Lovely man he is. Lovely lad. Very talented cricketer. Can hit the ball further than any other Glamorgan player on his day. A really incredible striker of the ball. I saw him bowl very well on Friday night, didn't he?
So there's a slip in now for Tamal Mills on a hat-trick. This one's short and down the leg side and a wide. Well, that's a bit of a damp squib from his perspective.
He obviously he's not after the hat-trick then. throws in a cheeky bouncer.
Maybe he thought his best chance was a top edge down to the man at deep square leg or fine leg, but the way he's been, that last one counted into the Marnus Labuschagne's leg stump. Maybe he should have gone full and straight. But still, terrific bowling from Mills. 3 for 20. And this one's for well driven and for 4 by Dan Douthwaite. You'll feel better for that. Really full ball, because it was there to be hit and he didn't miss. Put it away beautifully.
If Dan can get himself in here now, it'll be very good for Glamorgan. Another one more partnership. If both these guys are there at the back end, they'll be close to that 190.
Again, another variation, slower ball. That time straight on middle stump and well kept out by Dan Douthwaite, and that's the end of the over. So Glamorgan 148 for 5 at the end of the 16th over. So just 4 left now, and so 10 and over would get us into the 180s. 12 and over, the 190s. Jamal Mills has done a lot of damage there. He's got 1 over left. Great figures so far, 3 for 25 from his 3 overs. And so it's now Danny Lamb from the River Taff end. And that's been helped round the corner. It's just going to be a single though.
Bowling from the River end, Danny Lamb.
North East moves to 45. It's played well. And Dan Douthwaite at the other end, so interesting to see what the dynamic between these two batsmen will be. Whether they'll just play as normal, or will one of them trying to get on with it and the other play a supporting role.
Douthwaite just indicating there with his hand there's a little bit more bounce than I expected in that one.
It's definitely been something in it for the seamers.
It's been a good wicket, I think, a very good wicket.
And that's been well struck. Where's that gone? Just falls short of the man. Running in down there from the deep long on boundary. I think it was Finn Hudson-Prentice down there. One of those awkward ones where it was landing just in front of him, wasn't sure whether to kind of go for the catch and risk taking one in the face. In the end he did quite well to stop it. Spread himself like a goalkeeper. North East drives it to mid-off. One more.
He's done him with a slow one there, hasn't he? Again, he was looking to pace on. He was going to clear mid-off there. He just had to readjust. There's good bowling there from Danny Lamb.
Yeah, it's been a good contest here. Neither bat or ball overly dominating. Little phases where each has had the upper hand. Douthwaite stepped back quickly there, worried that Simpson might have a shot at the stumps. Made sure he was in his ground just in case. Douthwaite goes straight and goes big. That one is in the river. A mighty blow from Dan Douthwaite.
He can hit them. Wonderful strike.
Well, there's the power. A few more of those, and that really is going to help Glamorgan get up and push towards a high 180s, 190 sort of total, which you'd think would be give Glamorgan a really good chance of defending here. And the fact that one has disappeared into the river means they're having to look for another ball.
Dig into the spares. Most of those are old practice balls. You get the old practice balls out, have a session or two with them, and then just pop them in their spare ball bag.
Is there anyone who goes into the river and tries to fish out the old cricket balls? In golf, that's a lucrative thing, isn't it? Probably not so much in cricket.
Yeah, not so much in cricket, unless, well, down in Taunton when I was working for Somerset, we had Chris Gale play for us. He put a few in the tone, and he would generally sign them in the nightclub afterwards.
That's the way to do it.
Coming in, soaking wet, could he sign this, please, Mr. Gale? He'd sit and chat, and so stand and chat with them and sign their soaking wet balls that recovered from the tone.
So Tamal Mills, his final over. Pace off.
Over. Yes.
Just gets it over the man, and I think that's going to roll all the way for 4. Yeah, very well played. Sam Northeast just got enough on it to clear that man. A backward point.
Sussex
and that's
3
50.
main bowlers. Sussex 3 main bowlers will be bowling these last 3 overs. Mills, McAndrew, I would have thought, and Ollie Robinson. Good
so
50.
50 off 35 for Sam Northeast. Well played. He's certainly been the spine of this innings. Slow ball again. And just the one.
Sam Northeast hits 50 off 35 balls, 4 fours and 2 sixes.
So nice 50 for Sam Northeast. Of course, the red ball captain gives the captain's armband to Kieran Carlson in the white ball game. And he's now having a rest at the other end. Dan Douthwaite on strike. Douthwaite goes big. That's gone high. I don't think it's far enough. And Ollie Carter makes no mistake. So, a short, exciting cameo from Dan Douthwaite, and that's a 4th wicket for Tamal Mills.
Dan Douthwaite caught by Ollie Carter off the
He was targeting the short boundary down here, straight back up from where we're sitting, but got under that one, went too high. And in the end, a regulation catch.
It looks as if he just sliced across it, didn't he? He lost the distance there. A little bit. Shame for Glamorgan, shame for Dan Douthwaite. Gives Tom Bevan the opportunity here.
Tell us about Tom Bevan.
Again, talented player, obviously made his breakthrough a couple of years ago in the white format. Scored 100, played a couple of really good knocks at the top of the order. So again, for Tom, this is a different position for him to try and get used to and establish himself. If they see him as with Mason Crane and Tom Bevan as the kind of two spinners that we're going to use, he'll be batting you. So he's going to have to get used to how he bats. It only lasted 1 ball, I think, on Friday. He's got to do that. Try and give strike to Sam Northeast. If he can score 8 off 4 balls here, or 6 off 4 balls, he'll actually have done a good job, because it meant that he doesn't want to face too many dot balls. That's the big thing at this stage of the innings.
So hard, isn't it, to come in and you can't even have a look.
International bowler. He's got 3 wickets. He's full of confidence. He's got the pace. He knows how he's going to bowl on this wicket, and you're coming as a young man against him. Great experience though.
Ooh. Just evades Mills's hand, and that's Bevan off the mark. Again, really varying his pace, Mills in this over.
Tom was actually one of the guys on the other night, Tom Bevan, who actually put a catch down. I think that's the first catch I've ever seen him drop. He's normally unbelievable fielder. Seriously, he's got hands that are just like glue. Ball sticks to them.
It was a strange night. There were catches going down there that you wouldn't have expected. So Mills round the wicket now. Slower ball. That's been cut away. They're going to come back for 2. He's going to have to hurry, but he makes it comfortably in the end. 2 more to Sam Northeast.
That's a good spell for Tymon Mills, again leading. For example, another 4 wickets. That's 8 in 2 games for Tymon Mills, the first 2 games of the comp.
Yeah, outstanding. 4 for 33. We saw it all. Express pace. Lovely variation of different types of slower ball. And a real spearhead of this attack. And 4 for 33. So, with 2 overs to go in the Glamorgan innings, 165 for 6. And so, to get into the 180s, 10 and over would be nice. 8 and over would just get them to sort of low 180s. And if this can be a big over, then maybe a little bit more. This is Nathan McAndrew.
Returning to goal from the river end.
3 for 38 from, so 1 for 38 from his 3 overs. It's been quite expensive.
His last over wasn't it? His last over, Ingram got hold of him.
Yeah, we're going for an over 12, over 12s at the moment. Bevan pulls. I think he might have found a gap there. Beautiful shot. Gets 4 runs.
One-handed pull, which he has timed as good as anything you've seen all day today. That's flown over the boundary.
Controlled it beautifully. Yep. Well, they say that the top hand's the one that controls where the bat goes.
I was going to say I never saw that hand come off when I was batting. It was always so it's the top hand that came off.
So good start for the young man. And again, sounded good off the bat.
It's picked him out this time.
Good aggression though, making good connection. $170 for 6. That one's a wider one.
Just inside the blue line. Just inside of it.
Not much in it. It really scuttled through that one. Almost rolled to the keeper. And even the man on 53 couldn't get a bat on that one. And again, Northeast trying to give himself room and target that cover boundary. But that one did seam away.
Slow ball, back of the hander, yeah, back of the hander. Just looks as if it may have clipped footmarks of Tymon Mills there and just taken it away a little bit.
Nice piece of
last ball.
Leg spin bowling. Drive straight.
That's the one.
They're going to get one good piece of fielding down there. Keeps into just a single. And that is the end of Nathan McAndrew. Yep, 6 didn't quite feel what Glamorgan were hoping for. So 171 for 6 with 1 over to go. So the one relief will be that Tymon Mills has finished. So Ollie Robinson still got 1 left. And Danny Lamb
is going to finish.
So McAndrew in the end, 1 for 44 from his 4 overs. Danny Lamb as well been going at 10s. The one-handed shot seems to be in fashion at the moment.
I think both sides will be fairly happy going into the last 5 balls here. Very, very much kind of in the balance in terms of that 175 to 185 kind of.
Yeah, it's felt like
here.
an even contest, hasn't it? Trying the innovation again, trying to lift it over those two men who are behind square on the offside, both up in the ring. That's clearly what Bevan's trying to do.
Very much looks as if his field is set for the shorter ball, with 4 deep on the leg side and a deep point 4 in the circle on the offside.
Lamb, this time down the leg side, and it's a wide.
Wide ball.
Bevan might be a bit disappointed he didn't connect with that one. They don't have to be very far down the leg side for it to be called a wide. So pretty much anything that goes down there gets called. This one's short, and Paul doesn't quite reach the fielder. Didn't middle it, probably just as well. If he'd hit it a little bit harder, it might have been straight down his throat there on the deep mid-wicket boundary. So just one more. Boundaries is what the two Glamorgan batsmen will be looking for now. Sam North East on strike. 55 to his name, has batted really well. And he's out, run out. They tried to hurry through a quick single as the ball went through to the keeper, and John Simpson with a nice underarm direct hit, and it's Bevan who has to go. Runnable 6, and Glamorgan 174 for 6.
Sacrificed himself for the team there. Very unselfish of Tom Bevan. Trying to stop another dot ball in this over. He wasn't successful, unfortunately, in that, and run himself out.
Correction, 174 for 7.
Tom Bevan out, the incoming batter, Tim van der Houten.
And it's Tim van der Houten coming in now. Again, another strong man. Square build. You'd think he can hit a ball.
He can hit a ball. Through to him once at down at Bristol, Gloucester, and he put one on top of the indoor school there. That's a massive blow. That's a wide, no ball. Tried the bouncer again.
Yeah, it's been a good tactic, and as you say, the field does look like it's set for that. That one was a bit wayward, a bit too short.
It's quite handy though, that's actually a no ball rather than the wide, because it means it's an extra run for Glamorgan.
Yeah. So where does this go? Oh. Simpson can't hit this time. And actually I think that North East may have actually sneaked home anyway. So last ball of the innings, barring no balls and wides. 177 for 7. Be nice to get into the 180s psychologically.
One boundary off the last 11 balls, hasn't there?
Yeah.
Just the one boundary off 11 balls.
It does just feel that it has tailed off a little bit. The platform was there and they haven't really managed to take advantage. This would be a nice way to finish it. And I think he has.
I think he's finished it with a maximum.
Oh, it landed on the rope.
Finished
it
it with
actually
a
landed
maximum.
on the rope, and it's a 6. So, lovely way to finish. Sam North East has batted beautifully for 61. An unbeaten 61 here. And Glamorgan, what was the final time? I think that was 183. 183. 183. So 184 to win for Sussex. And Matt, what's your assessment then of that innings? It had its moments, but
I think pretty par. I think really. I think both sides, as I said earlier in the over, that both sides will go into the break feeling they're in with a chance of winning the game, and it's how well Glamorgan can bowl and field now. Can they defend that total, which looks a power around about par. I think it's a good wicket. So yeah, both sides will be how it's just on execution now. Can Sussex get the partnerships when they bat? Can Glamorgan take wickets consistently, feel to a high standard, and get a first home win of the T20 Blast summer?
Yeah, absolutely, that would be good. That's certainly what the home crowd here are hoping for. So it's 184 to win for Sussex. I guess the standout performer in the Glamorgan innings was Sam Northeast. 61, an unbeaten 61 from 43. Had a lot of help from Colin Ingram, who went really well for his 39 off 23. And Marnus Labuschagne got a great first ball from Tamal Mills for a first baller. And then at the end, the tail, I think, really struggled to get the ball away with some tight seam bowling from the Sussex bowlers. So the pick of the bowlers, you'd have to say it's the captain, Tamal Mills, 4 for 33. Fantastic spell from him. Saw the full variation and the express pace. He was backed up well by Ollie Robinson. He was very tidy at the start, 1 for 17 from his 3 overs. And there was also a wicket for Nathan McAndrew, 1 for 44. So 184 is the target. The Sussex have to chase. We'll catch up with you after a short break in about 10 or 15 minutes time. I will look forward to seeing you then.
Folks, this is my favourite bit. We're going to roll some apples now. First up, we have Hayden, who is representing Morriston. How do you do? Are you okay, mate?
Doing very well, thank you. Doing very well.
And what have you done to prepare for today's challenge? Feel confident, mate?
Yeah, I've been limbering up, with the free time. Did a cheese roll the other day, so my legs are a bit tatted as you see. But yeah, we'll try and run my heart out.
Wonderful, good stuff, good stuff. So gents are going to run from here, their partners are all the way down there. They're going to hit their partners, and then they're going to come back, Felix and Keelan, with Jay now, from Britain Fair Esteem. How do you, Jay?
Yeah, very good, very good.
Now, the words of confidence from Hayden there, are you matching that confidence, do you think?
100%. I've been drinking apples all day, and this apple's having a night.
This apple is having a night. Right then, boys, get ready, get in positions. Hayden, get ready there, and Jay. Boys at the end, are you ready, Felix, Keelan? We are good to go. Right then, boys, we're going for 5. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's roll! Cracking start there, aggressive start! Oh my goodness, we're going to swing! The wind is pushing Jay to these opponents. Hayden then getting back. Felix is tantalisingly close. Felix picks up the bat and he's away. Keelan now has a lot to do here. Felix though has gone for the pacey objective and he's putting it right there. That Stork is having an absolute battering, ladies and gentlemen. And he's done it! That is it, folks. It is all over. Woo! My breath doing this. Right, let's have a chat. What's your back, Colin? Oh no, cameraman Colin! Right at the back. Felix, how do you feel, mate?
I feel absolutely over the moon. Wow. Best day of my life.
Absolute best day of your life. You're going to be getting a case outside to your addresser. And Kira, commiserations, mate. What went wrong? So you straight under the bus. And He didn't go off on the side. And works for yourself, gents, works for yourself as well. What went wrong there, mate?
Their after the goal later than ours, 100%.
There we go. Perfect. Great stuff, folks. Thank you very much, boys. And how are you going to celebrate tonight?
Well, the other bits.
Chop up. Silent. See you get the brief. Thanks so much. Cheers, boys. Thank you very much.
Well, welcome back to live coverage. on the Glamorgan Cricket live stream on YouTube and anywhere else you're watching around the world. We hope that you have enjoyed that first innings, as Glamorgan made 183 for 7, and so that means that the Sussex Sharks have a total of 184 to win this Vitality Blast match, because they won their first game against Gloucestershire down in Hove on Friday. So they want to get on a roll at the start of this competition. Glamorgan lost here against Surrey on Friday, so they're looking for their first win. So all to play for really here. Both teams looking just to get started in this competition. And it looks as if it's going to be Jamie McElroy, the quick left-hander, the quick left-armer, to open the bowling for Glamorgan. Bowling to Ollie Carter and Daniel Hughes.
He'll be chuffed with you calling him quick, Ash. Let's see if he swings it.
Ooh, on the money for straight away. Well, he's been coaching my son a little bit over the winter.
He's a good man, Jamie. He's Bilthwell's lad, isn't he, around that area, and it's been a long fight for him to get into the county game, but he's performs pretty well. He went for
leading the attack here for Glamorgan. This one's wide, and not a good contact by Carter, but enough to get 2 runs down as it just beat the man at short third. And the Sussex innings is underway.
The one thing that Dave Harrison's been working, or trying to work with Jamie as much on, is just to get the ball coming back a little bit more into the right-handers rather than just kind of going across. And it's a good change-up to go across, but if he can really develop that with a white ball as well.
Driven by Carter, straight to the man at mid-off.
Glamorgan will want wickets in this power play. Probably 3 down would be ideal, 4 down would be ideal, but they'd take 2 or 3.
Chopped out to the offside, it's just going to be 1. That brings Daniel Hughes on to strike. Left-hander, but a right-handed bowler. Left-hand bat, wearing 89 today on the back of his shirt. Glamorgan looking resplendent in their new look shirts this season. New sponsor on the back, Spar, just above the number. And Hughes is off the mark straight away. So a real swarm of fielders, saving 1.
I think I've just seen Kieran Carlson message to Timmy van der Gooten just to hold it there, and I think he might be coming with Tom Bevan to bowl a second over of this Glamorgan bowling innings.
Interesting. So that's the end of the first over. Tidy stuff. 5 without loss. 2 and 3 singles. So, who's going to start? Well, it looks like you might be right. Tom Bevan, the off-break bowler.
I think that's what you'd call a gut reaction from the captain. Because obviously Tim had marked up and he was ready to go, and then just before that last ball of that over, saw Kieran giving the nod. Get ready.
Interesting. Yeah, he went for 15 for his 1 over on Friday night to Tom Bevan. It was
the 5 wides didn't help though, did it? 5-1 down the leg side,
I see what you mean. Yeah, it was pretty tough going. And opens up with a reverse sweep. And they scuttle home for a couple. Yeah, hard for spinners to bowl at this stage when I guess batsmen are really looking to target the boundaries. There's a lot of pressure, you can't be too far off. And that's been hit beautifully over the top. I think it's got enough on it, and that'll be the first boundary of the innings from Carter.
It's a well controlled sweep shot that. Yeah, it is a tough. It's a tough time for anyone to bowl, but Kieran obviously just had a gut reaction there. Just fancied Tom Bevan coming in, and I quite like that. I don't mind it at all. As I say, the power play is a real tough place to be bowling as a seamer or spinner.
And what will that be about? Why? What sort of things will he be considering in making that decision?
He'll go on his experience, really. I think he's been the captain of the white ball side for 3 years now. Obviously led them to the first trophy up at Trent Bridge. Magnificent 80 odd in the final. Led them to victory over Durham, and so you just get a feeling at times as a captain. It's hard to discuss why. I actually quite like this field. He's bringing mid-on, long on up to mid-on in the circle, and it just allows Tom to bowl a fraction shorter with a deep mid-wicket and a deep backward square. I like that as a movement.
And he's coming round the wicket to the right-hander.
Trying to just tuck him up a little bit more. Yeah,
it was really encouraging to hit it into the leg side rather than trying to defend both sides.
Yeah, left-hander now. He's gone long off and deep mid-wicket as the two fielders outside the circle.
That's beautifully hit. Lovely drive. Timed it beautifully. That's 4 to Hughes.
That's a beautiful cricket shot. He has absolutely timed that beautifully. Pierced the cover and short extra cover fielders. It raced away. I'd actually quite prefer to leave deep cover out there and have mid-off up in the circle. Again, it just allows him to bowl that slightly shorter length.
And a bit of pressure now, Bevan. This one's wide. Ooh! And that was just a whisker away. Great effort by the captain, Kieran Carlson, but it's the same result. 4 more.
Just took a bit of pace off it, didn't he? He allowed it, and it may have just spun a fraction, but as you say, it just evaded the diving skipper and away for 4.
So Hughes already looks like he's a timer of the ball. This one on leg stump. And 1 more to the total. And at the end of the second over, 22 without loss. So good start for Sussex. A few boundaries there. 3 boundaries in fact from that over, 17 off it. So again, Tom Bevan's not had the easiest of times so far in this competition. But as we saw, that was the same story in the Sussex innings. The spinner bowled there, Coles, I think bowled, he went for quite a lot for his first over and then really brought it back well actually.
Yeah.
So it's McIlroy to continue. Oh, well, big shout for LBW, he's gone! McIlroy strikes in his second over, and Hughes, who looked like the danger man, has gone.
Great delivery, good length. Hughes just trying to work it a bit too square, missed it, trap right in front. Might see this from both sides. Oh, that is one of the easiest decisions the umpire will ever have to make in his career. That was not missing leg, it was not missing off, it was hitting middle out of the ground.
Great passion from McIlroy as he celebrated there. So that's one of the three wickets plus that targeting the power play.
Overseas player as well, and very dangerous player. Watched a game the other day actually. It was like a practice match for Sussex. He hit 80 off 35 balls. He hit it everywhere. So that's a big wicket for Glamorgan. They'll be delighted with that.
And that brings Tom Alsop to the crease. Another left-hander.
And again, that might have been captain's thinking with having the left-hander in there to use Tom Bevan in that second over just to see if there was anything there, and even the one he did just beat the skipper for 4 runs, did offer a little bit. So
good ball. No room to do anything with that one. Could only play it back to the bowler. So good start from McIlroy. He's been really tidy as well. Just the 5 runs from his 7 deliveries so far. And of course that all-important wicket. That one has just missed on the inside edge, I think. It was pretty close to everything as it went through.
that was. It just looked as if it tailed back in actually on the angle. Just nip, a little bit of nip. Missed the inside edge, and unfortunately for McIlroy and Glamorgan, missed the off stump.
Knowledgeable crowd. Dot ball gets a clap.
I love Sundays. The old Sunday leagues were fantastic for cricket. You used to get, and you used to know. Obviously, every other week you'd be at home. It was brilliant for the game.
Yeah, it's a lovely place to be on a day like this. Takes a couple of steps down and cuts that really well behind square. It's got to be hauled in though, so just 2. First runs off the bat this over. Just shows how good it's been from McIlroy. And just 1 left. And a great finish. A great finish to the over.
Thought he got his man there.
He did, but that's a terrific over. Bowling about 80 miles an hour, McIlroy, and he has picked up a wicket in his second over. Fantastic piece of bowling from him, and he is 1 for 7 from 2, so fantastic economy as well. Really doing the job from that end, and so now we see what will happen. Tim van der Hoogten, it looks like, is going to come on, perhaps the original plan. Down here.
Van der Hoogten, bowling from the Cathedral Road end.
It's actually quite funny because I would have been more tempted to give Bevan a second over now once Glamorgan had taken a wicket. But it was great to see Tim back. He obviously suffered an injury at the start of the year. I think he did his calf quite badly. But he came back and bowled really well in the last championship match, and Glamorgan need him at his best for this T20 Blast campaign.
Carter drives straight to the man at point.
He's a fantastic specimen of a man, Tim van der Hoogten.
Strong.
He's strong man, athletic. Can stiffen up a little bit after a spell, but that's probably normal for most pace bowlers.
And the drive straight. It doesn't beat the man. Marnus Labuschagne fielding there at mid-off.
What do you make of his yellow Under Armour that he's got underneath his shirt there, Ash? Marnus?
I don't know whether it's the right yellow. I mean, if you get your Dulux colour chart out, I'm not sure it's the same yellow, is it?
I think it's miles off.
It's more canary yellow, I think, than the gold that's on the numbers. And that's been picked up beautifully. Lovely shot for 6, straight over fine leg. That's a great shot from Alsop.
That's not a bad delivery at all. That's probably hitting the top and middle stump there, as you want your bowlers to bowl. Yeah, just maybe a slightly fuller than that, but what a great cricket shot.
Picked it up beautifully.
Just got to accept that, I believe, as a bowler. If you hit your lengths that you want to do, but the batsman produces something to hit it out of the park, you just have to accept it. That's the nature of short form cricket.
Yeah, brilliant shot. Timed it really well, used all the pace. And this one's similar sort of place. But this time was tucked up. I think didn't premeditate this time and couldn't do much with that one. I suppose how much do you have to premeditate to attempt one of those sort of flick shots? Or
you know before the bowler's at the top of his mark, as he sets off, you know that you're going to paddle it. It's not an instinctive thing. You can't make that decision when he's 2 yards away. You know before he's coming in what you're looking to do.
Driven in the air, straight into the arms of Marnus Labuschagne, and Van der Houten strikes. Allsop is gone, and Glamorgan take their second wicket. 32 for 2 Sussex now, and Glamorgan are on their way to getting rid of this top order of the Sussex batting lineup.
It's funny, isn't it? He stepped across his stumps first ball, heading for 6, stayed where he was, dot ball, then moved away, third ball, and just chipped it to mid-on. Why didn't he just carry on walking across his stump and scooping over fine leg? That's the question I'd be asking, because he obviously plays it very well. But brilliant comeback from Tim van der Houten. Again, every ball this over has been kind of on the money, on the mark. And the man with the canary yellow Under Armour takes a simple catch at mid-on.
Yeah, nice to see the catches going to hand tonight.
Sticking.
Yeah, that was certainly perhaps the one thing that let Glamorgan down on Friday night was the catching. Like 5 or 6 went down, and not all of them particularly difficult by the standards that these players set themselves.
There's probably one I would suggest, one that you thought was a 20% catch. I think the rest of them were 9 times out of 10 you're taking them. Well, hopefully better odds than that.
Yeah, it just seemed to be a contagious thing. As one went down, then the rest followed. So, new batsman Coles. James Coles runs that one down, gets straight off the mark, runs it down to third man. And that's an excellent over from Tim van der Houten. 8 from it, just the 6 really the only blemish, but I think you can give the credit to the batsman rather than say that was anything to do with the bowling.
Most definitely, most definitely. This is the beauty of having taken a couple of wickets in the power play. It allows the skipper to continue attacking with McIlroy. If they're none down, McIlroy's already bowled 2. You don't want him to bowl a third to set batsman. So having the luxury of taking a couple of wickets now and a new batsman at the crease allows him to continue with Jamie McIlroy.
It's been a tight start from McIlroy, just 7 runs off his 2 overs so far. Coles takes one more. Just a bit of a gentle breeze. See the trees rustling in the wind over there on the far side of the ground. Another good ball right on the money. Just good stuff from McIlroy. Not giving them anything loose. Asking the batsmen questions that they're going to have to come up with the answer rather than him offering them anything easy to hit. Oh, and that has gone straight over the top of the middle stump. Carter had a swipe at it, didn't connect, and that did not miss by much.
Good bowling this from McIlroy, just hitting the pitch on good lengths again. We saw Ollie Robinson doing something similar for Sussex at the start of his, and the reason why he's only bowled 3 overs rather than 4, Ollie Robinson, is a big surprise to me.
And that bouncer has been helped straight over the keeper's head by Carter for 4 runs.
Good cricket again, good bouncer, and was very well played by Carter.
Yeah, almost looking to hit it behind him rather than hit it over to the square leg, and got a good contact on it.
Yeah.
So up to 37, the score for the Sharks. 2 balls left of the 5th over. Good comeback from McIlroy. This stage of the game, you're just trying to work out who's ahead. One of the things you could look at sometimes is the DLS. Probably a bit early to go with that, but the par score, it says on the scoreboard, is 46 at the moment, so that's just one indicator. Very early days though. Almost got a hand to that one, McIlroy. Was hoping to maybe deflect it onto the stumps, but in the end it was a single to Carter, and that's an end of another excellent McIlroy over. Only went for 6, and that Sussex are 38 for 2.
Glamorgan at the same stage were 46 for 2.
What's the thing you like most about the cricket here today?
Oh, I just love the atmosphere. I love that you can sit here, have a chill and have a drink.
I hope she's put some slip, slop, slap on there on the screen. Very warm day here at Sapphire Gardens today.
I think about 23, 24 degrees, but we'll probably feel a lot hotter sitting in the sun here. Lovely day, basking in the sunshine here. Of course, it's always like this in South Wales. Lovely day. So it's Van der Gooten.
It's actually quite a big over in the context of the game. The last hour of the power play, this one. Obviously, if Sussex have a good one, it brings them probably on parity with Glamorgan's score after the power play. If Glamorgan take a wicket or go for 5-6 in the over, they're going to go out of the power play kind of well ahead, 10 runs, 11 runs ahead from the power play. So that's quite a big advantage.
So it's Coles. Drives at that one, gets a thick inside edge, squirts out onto the leg side. And they race back for a couple. Good pace, 85.9 from Van der Gooten.
He's fresh. He's just played the one championship match. He's fresh. He's loose. He's lots of energy in there. His bones won't be aching quite as much as he would if he'd played 5 championships or 6 championship matches prior to the T20 Blast.
Oof. And again, the captain couldn't quite get a clean pick up on that. I think he fancied his chances of having a shy as Coles raced down to the non-striker's end, but the ball didn't stick in the right mitt.
Anticipated well there, Kieran, to give himself a little half an opportunity for a clean pick-up and a quick throw at the stumps, but not to be.
Fuller.
Yes. Good work there by the skipper. The Duckworth Lewis Stern is suggesting the pass score of this ball is 51 and it's 42 for 2.
So that's encouraging signs from a Glamorgan perspective. Pauls again doesn't really get hold of it. Has a shy. So it's tidy stuff again. No boundaries from this over. Of course, this stage of the game, you have to have a lot of fielders in the circle, saving one. Can't have many out on the boundary. So boundaries are really the name of the game from a batsman's perspective. It's in the air. Didn't seem like the fielders saw that for a minute, and has just got enough on it to trickle over the boundary for 4. Rather spoiling Tim Van der Gooten's over, but still it was a good one.
It's the end of the power play now.
And the end of the power play. Sussex are
47 for 2.
So
not too bad, I think 56. So only 9 runs in it. But it's better to be ahead after a power play than behind.
Certainly
what
rather
Sussex will need is partnerships. Talked about them earlier with the Glamorgan innings. They had a couple of partnerships will eat into that 9 quite quickly, but if Glamorgan continues to take wickets, they'll increase that number.
So it's Dan Douthwaite coming on at the River Taff end. Saw a brief cameo with the bat from him earlier. Doing one hefty blow into the river. He's bowling to Ollie Carter. And that's full and straight. Big appeal. But no interest from the umpire.
Fast Yorker to start there.
Yep.
Must have just jabbed down on it, Carter. Let's have a look on the replay. Oh no, sliding down.
It's missing, yeah. So the necessary rate's close to 10 for Sussex now. Gives you an idea of what they need to do. This one's wide and driven, and that's going to be 4.
Slapped over point, over Labuschagne there at backward point. And the gully line for 4 runs.
Bit too much width there, I think, for his arms. So Carter still there, on 23. Oh, and an edge, and he's got another boundary straight away. Streaky at that time. But nothing Chris Cook could do. Dived despairingly to his right. Tried to get a glove on it, but it was flying. And of course here at Cardiff, the straight boundaries are very short. So it doesn't take long for it to get to the boundary rope.
It's quite interesting. Dan Douthwaite's first 3 balls have all been very, very full. That's his better length. In at the hip. That's the length you want. If they start hitting you off that kind of length, then you do something else. But that's the length I think he very much should start bowling, like he did actually, to be fair, on Friday night.
Is it another wide one? James Coles has edged that, and it's beaten the man of the third one on the inside. So, well, this over's unravelling a little bit now. Third 4.
Width again. And he might be trying to bowl too fast here.
Yeah, he's a strong man, isn't he? Again, broad-shouldered, powerful figure. And the bouncer, which is called a wide.
Wide ball.
So a little word from Jamie McElroy, who's standing down there at mid-off.
It's good run in that. Put pressure on the fielder at mid-on. I think that's Sam Northeast. No. Colin Ingram, is it? No, I was right the first time.
Back yourself, Matt.
But yeah, I know. It was brilliant in the grandstand on Friday night. I had a nice beer with my brother watching the game from the stands. Never done that before.
It's nice, yeah. I suppose that's one area of the ground that you'll have sit a lot on that side where the pavilion is, but very rarely ever on that side.
Very rarely.
Did you make the spectators pay extra to sit next to you over there? I'm sure they would have been loving it as well.
There were a lot of students there. My days are long since gone. They didn't have a clue who I was, which was very nice.
So, turning to leg spin now. And it's Mason Crane, a man who will have very fond memories of T20 cricket here. It's where he made his international debut for England. Do you remember that, Matt? Do you remember who his first international victim was?
You got me there, Ash. I don't.
A.B. de Villiers.
A.B. Not a bad scalp, that, is it?
I was sitting in the stand just there with my boys, and remember it was a caught on the square leg boundary. I think it might have been Johnny Bairstow, if my memory serves me correctly, but big moment for the young man then.
Not a bad first pole, that. One of the great players of the modern game. 3 format. Yeah, terrific player.
Yeah, Mason Crane, a new addition this season.
Wrong gun then. Well picked by Coles. Well fielded by Dan Douthwaite, saving the 2. Yes, he's been an excellent signing for Glamorgan.
Done well in the championship as well.
Yeah, he's been very good. He's
comes down the wicket in this time. Doesn't get all of it. One bounce into the hand of Colin Ingram.
Probably took Mason a little bit of time, not to settle, but to get his confidence back after not really playing much cricket over the past couple of years at Hampshire, but he's certainly found his feet and he has bowled very well for Glamorgan.
This one worked off the pads. Dan Douthwaite doing the hard work down there on the square leg boundary. Oh,
he's got him.
He's caught behind.
No. He's just getting through the overs. Obviously, only 30 seconds these days, isn't there, in between? But
I thought Chris Cook then was sprinting down to sort of hug
congratulate him,
and it was so quick. I couldn't quite see from here what had happened, but there we go. It's just being efficient.
Marnus has managed to talk himself on as well here.
Yeah. So more leg spin from both ends here for Glamorgan. As they're throwing the free t-shirts out into the crowd here again. Guaranteed fun for all the family. Might get to go home with a lovely Vitality Blast t-shirt as well if you're lucky. And get to watch great international players like Marnus Labuschagne, who's now comes on to bowl his leg spinners.
He'll be very keen to contribute, Marnus, after missing out with the bat today. You can't really keep him out of the game. He's always involved in the field, chatting away, or whether it's making suggestions on bowling changes, field placings. Now he gets his chance for the ball.
Singles from the first 3 balls. This one's in the air, it's flat. Will it reach? That looks like an absolutely brilliant catch.
Sam Northeast there at long on.
It's Bevan, I think it's Bevan. Tom Bevan.
You are correct.
Incredible catch. That didn't really get above head height all the way. And he just managed to get his fingers under it.
I told you earlier, Ash, that I'd never seen him drop one until the other night.
Yeah.
And that's the standard of Tom Bevan.
Yeah. Are they just checking this? The batsman hasn't gone. He wants to check this carried. Ooh, that might be worth another look, I think. And Carter hasn't moved. And I think, on the basis of that replay,
the umpires won't have a replay. There's no third, fourth official today. They're just going on obviously what they saw, and they obviously thought there was a bit of doubt in the catch. Looked a fairly clean catch.
It was a great catch, but we can maybe have another look at that. But Carter's still there. That's the upshot of it. He's anchored this Sussex innings so far. So Marnus Labuschagne thought he was in the wickets. Drive straight. Brilliant work by Bevan this time. Again, keeps it to a single. So 6 singles off the over. First over from Marnus Labuschagne. Let's have a look. Here's the catch.
See, I think his hand's underneath it. I think it almost falls out and then just straight into his hand.
It looks a little bit like it's just... I wouldn't be able to call that. Maybe squeeze between his fingers and touch the ground. Enough doubt.
Now, how many times would you have seen this in T20 cricket? A third leg spinner coming on to bowl. Colin Ingram. 3 overs, 3 different leg spin bowlers.
And that one's been reverse swept. Straight to the man down there.
And the magic works. Kieran Carlton's come up with a beauty there. I've never ever seen that before. 3 overs of 3 different leg spinners in a T20 game in the UK. And it's worked. It's done his magic.
Isn't it nice to have the option? Not many teams have.
Not many teams have. That is quite rare.
So went for the reverse sweep, hit it really well. Just picked the man straight out there. It was Tim van der Gooten down there who took a good catch. The catches are sticking tonight, which is really good.
Eddie Byram, I think it was. Eddie Byram, you'd very rarely see Tim van der Gooten out on deep square, deep point. Tim's normally in the circle, taking a breather from his bowling. Scoreboard says Byram. Simple catch, you'd expect them to take that, but never assume.
So,
you know, a big part of that was that single off the last ball of Marnus. Said the work that Tom Bevan did, coming round from long on there.
So Hudson Prentice off the mark. 73 for 3.
It's a lovely show of confidence from Hudson Prentice. First ball, just to trot down the wicket, have a little walk down the wicket, knock him to mid-on.
Oh, again that was close.
For the old reverse sweep again.
Oh,
he hit it onto his... could have gone to Cook there, who's sniffing around.
A great over so far. Another dot ball. Just 1 off the over so far, and of course the wicket.
It's pushed that run rate closer to 11 than 10 now.
They won't mind the ones. Seems slower than the other leg spinners, doesn't it? Just seems to come up.
It's a nice variation. I think you got Mason, who probably bowls stock pace, Marnus faster, and then Colin a little bit slower.
Well, that's a brilliant over. Just 3 runs from it, and the all-important wicket of Ollie Carter as well, who was caught down there on the deep point boundary for 33 off 29. So,
very good last 3 overs from Morgan this.
The halfway stage, Sussex are 76 for 3.
So just a little bit behind the rate. Sussex.
77 for 3.
But Hudson Prentice was the man in their win over Gloucestershire. He was just under the crease. He got 47 in the win on Friday night. Got them close, I think.
He's a dangerous cricketer.
So it's Dan Douthwaite to continue. Ooh.
That's Dan Douthwaite at his best. Hitting the deck hard, in line with the stumps.
Yeah.
That's what he does really well. I think that came up as 85 mile an hour, that delivery there. Hit the wicket hard, back in, hitting middle and leg. That's spot on. Don't leave there, Dan.
Yeah, I've been told. He has his instructions from Matt Maynard. Let's see. Yep. Got an edge this time. And they take a single down to Mason Crane, who's fielding down here in front of us at the third man boundary. Wondering how the leg spin trio are going to be shared out. And again, making the batsmen work hard for their runs here. It's been a tight start from Douthwaite this over. First one was a bit expensive. So 3 men saving 1 on the offside. Bit of indecision, and they decide against the second, probably wise, because it was a good throw. So got a third man and deep cover on the offside, a backward point, an extra cover, and mid off. Gives himself room and drives. And that's a brilliant stop, absolutely brilliant stop. I think, was that Jamie McElroy?
Jamie McElroy.
Oh, he might have hurt his arm there.
He injured his shoulder, didn't he, earlier in the season, and he's absolutely, totally committed to that. A fantastic, definitely saved 3 runs there. Full length. Yes.
And as soon as he done it, he clutched his shoulder straight away. So let's hope he's okay. Luckily, he's bowled 3 already. Oh, in the air, chance, out.
I'll tell you what, that's brilliant captaincy from Kieran Carlson. He had 3 over the leg spin, and they've done a wonderful job for him. He came back to Douthwaite knowing how Douthwaite can bowl when he's bowling his best, and he's just shown an over of how he can do it. Fantastic over, 1 for 4, and a real important part of the game, getting rid of a key player in Hudson Prentice too. But excellent captaincy that from Carlson.
Well, this is really encouraging. 80 for 4 now, and that run rate, importantly, is creeping up. Every wicket is just has made it harder for the batsmen to settle. And as soon as that rate gets above 12, it just gets more and more difficult.
You just never know though these days. I mean, Glamorgan were facing 13 for a long time the other night, and if that partnership between Labuschagne and Ingram could have continued, they could have seen us home.
Yeah,
seen Glamorgan home. But John Simpson, dangerous cricketer, coming into bat now from his move from Middlesex. Didn't have a great championship game against Glamorgan. Bagged a pair.
Never good.
But he has scored 2 centuries so far this season for Sussex, and he's in a bit of touch. So he obviously played for England, so we'll need to see the back of him.
He's at the non-striker's end as Crane continues now. Nice piece of fielding down there. Again, McElroy. No ill effects, and a great arm as well. And they race home for 2. Yeah, great work from the big fast bowler down there.
Very much so.
Yeah, remember that game? John Simpson got his England chance after COVID, didn't he? With all the when they were resting the squads. Drives flat, 2 bounces into the hand of Marnus Labuschagne, and they just take 1. It's not so much the fact that Labuschagne has got a yellow one, but why has he even got one on at all when it's this warm?
It's for his diving.
Protect the elbows.
Protect the elbows.
I see. That makes sense. Kieran Carlson's got one on 2 at short cover, and he has been diving around a lot, to be fair to him, on those dry and dusty rough pitches.
Kieran's have just got the classic tuba grip though, as you see. When you just keep him with you then. Marnus, yeah, undershirt. Or they might even be Australian gold, as you, canary yellow.
Yeah, that's probably what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Mason Crane, just 4 off the first 3 balls. This one slapped back down, tennis shot style. So Cole's going nicely, James Cole's 27 from 21. This is Simpson on strike. Ooh, wanted the reverse, and it was too wide.
But not a wide because he reversed. Otherwise it would have been called a wide back in the day. Great change in the laws, that.
Straight at this time, hit straight.
Marnus.
Another chance. Labuschagne has taken the catch. Mason Crane takes another wicket, and Glamorgan now are really putting Sussex under pressure.
Super stuff, lovely bowling, change of pace. Nice catch by Marnus. It made it look a bit more difficult than it was, but yeah, he was never dropping that.
No doubt about that one. It was low down, but went straight into 2 hands, diving forward. Yeah, good catch. So now you'd think Glamorgan in the box seat. They've got Sussex where they want them, 85 for 5.
Yeah, and the momentum is obviously Glamorgan's way now as well. You know, the last 2 overs produced 2 wickets and only 9 runs coming off it. And the work that was done prior to that, you know, with the wicket of Colin Ingram. So that was another wicket in that over. So that's 3 wickets in the last 3 overs. Big momentum shift to Glamorgan.
Yeah, so John Simpson didn't last long. And the new batsman is Danny Lamb. It's a long way down to that corner, isn't it?
Glamorgan's ground fielding today, super stop there by Sam North East on the boundary. The ground fielding's been superb today and fielded more like their normal selves.
Yeah, you can imagine they probably felt they had something to prove after Friday night. Drive straight. Has he got enough on this? He has. Well hit, and that's 4 runs. Coles hit it very well. It's not far actually up to that far boundary, and he had enough on it to beat the man McIlroy racing across from long off. So a welcome boundary for Sussex.
Be a slight break in play as the ball's recovered from the hover cover.
And is the hover cover wet? I imagine it. Well, probably not over the last few days, but no, not for the last few days. It's been dry, hasn't it? But I imagine all the equipment down there, I imagine, soaks up quite a lot of water when it's out in the middle.
It should be fine.
But it's fine. Good. That one's come back. They managed to find it. Well done, sir. Whoever's down there. As Marnus Labuschagne continues. So this one is hit square. And they just take 1. Lamb just having a look round. A little squat as he gets himself ready. Just looking to see where the fielders are and where the gaps are.
Just bringing Crane tighter there, just as the second man behind. I'm not quite sure how that has missed the stumps. Another reverse sweep attempted. I don't think Marnus is quite sure either.
Interesting what's going on here. Trying to out-kid each other, I think. Oh, and that has turned and just missed off stump.
Marnus spun one.
Yeah, he did. Well, that's a lovely ball.
Great delivery.
Let's have a look. Oh, yeah.
Good finish to the over there for
very good.
Marnus Labuschagne after going for 7 off this first, just conceded 1 off the last 3.
So 8 off the over, 93 for 5 Sussex now, after 13, so just 7 overs left, and that required rate is climbing slowly, now up to 13.
Morgan at the same stage, we're 109 for 3. That lead of 16.
So it's still all to play for. I think you'd definitely be in Glamorgan's position, rather be in their position than Sussex. As Mason Crane returns. Flights it up. Lovely diving stop from the captain again at short cover. Ooh. Floated delivery, reverse swept, just cleared the man at point.
That's well read by the man out there, Eddie Byram, who, when he saw the batsman go into that reverse position, started moving straight away down towards third man. Definitely saved the 2 with a bit of anticipation there.
Goals, edges. Oh, chance. Has a strike, has a go at the non-striker's end there. Tim van der Gooten. Would have been close if it had hit.
I think he's out. I think he's out by a mile. Tim has got a fantastic arm. If this hits, he's gone.
Oh yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. He was a couple of yards short there. Oof, and that one's nearly taken his partner's head off. But very well fielded by Tom Bevan down underneath us here. On the straight boundary at the Cathedral Road end. You don't have long before the ball reaches you down here, so you've got to move quick, and he did. Kept it to a single. So just 3 singles from the first 4 balls. And that's been driven hard into the leg side. Has he bisected the fielders? Great work again from Tom Bevan. Hauls it in, and Labuschagne throws. Again, the field really backing the bowlers up here for Glamorgan. A much improved display from Friday night. Great double act. Bevan to Labuschagne. Oh! I think that's a drop.
No, I think he's hit it into the ground.
Oh.
I think he's hit it in the ground, Ash.
Again, getting too excited here. Stung his hands, either way.
Exactly.
Came back hard.
Sunday at the cricket with the boys. Beautiful. Corner, where are you from, sir? Texas.
Yeah, hit it into the ground.
Yeah, into the ground.
Good dot ball. Yeah, finish.
So, good over. 5 from the over from Mason Crane. So, superb figures for him. Just 1 for 15 off 3 overs. So, only going for 5s.
Run rate is now 14.3 required. So excellent work the spinners have done for Glamorgan today.
So it's at this stage for me that if you, even if you hit, get 3 good boundaries, the rate still goes up.
Well, you're
potentially
hoping that you might get a couple of singles off the others, and
yeah,
then you got your
so,
14.
Well, yeah, but even that's right. It's still, you've got to have a really good over to get that rate down.
Yeah.
Another single, Glamorgan won't mind that.
6s make the difference at this stage.
Yeah.
If you're getting, 2 6s and then a boundary and then a couple of 2s or something, that's what you need. You need 18s, 20s, 22, or if you can get a towering 28 over or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what you need to reduce it now. Otherwise, ball by ball, that doesn't go for a boundary, the rate will just go up.
It's in the air. I think it's just cleared the man, but it's plugged and won't go for 4. Coles will have had his heart in his mouth for a minute there, but just got enough on it to clear the man and got back for 2. So Coles now 39, and you think he's the man who's got to be there for most of these remaining 5.5 overs. Steps away, drives it back, gets a hand on it.
Stop. It's a good hand there, isn't it? That saved certainly a couple of runs, if not a boundary, because he's hit that hard.
Because he shot one with his back on Friday night. Did you see that?
I've seen Graham Mann get hit in the head on follow through.
That's not fun.
Dangerous game. Yep. Dangerous game.
And that's a bouncer. What are they saying about the height? Yeah, it's been called a no ball. Did look a little bit high, that one.
No ball.
When he flexed the guns and pummeled that one into the surface and bounced a bit more than he hoped.
Flexed the guns. Nice.
He's got big arms, hasn't he?
He has got
big arms. Drives, it's aerial, just over the man again. Not convincing these shots, but just evading the fielders.
To get over mid on, mid off, isn't he?
Yeah. Trying to get hold of one of these and hit it to that short straight boundary, but hasn't middled one for a couple of overs now.
Long on, being dropped back. The third man coming up into the circle rather than fine leg. So that's 4 now on the fence on the leg side, and a deep point as well with mid off still up on the edge of the ring.
I'll be interested to see, will he premeditate something, maybe a reversal, a ramp? He is. That's exactly what he tried.
And I think he may have got something on that, but he's hit it straight back to the keeper. I'm not sure, but it looked as if it was going slightly further. Oh, it may have hit his pad.
Oh, maybe
just the line change.
Just drag the bat over the top of it. So, again, a good over from Van der Gooten. Just 6 off it so far, including that no ball. This is the last ball of the over.
So bad. Good use of the crease.
Step wide at the last minute. And so 7 off the over. That means the rate goes up again, now up to over 15. So Glamorgan really in the box seat here. It's theirs to lose, you'd think.
Yeah, it's just trying to control the boundaries, you know, if they bowl it how they have done and restrict the chances that the Sussex batsmen have got of hitting boundaries, that's going to help. They'll be enjoying it up there, up in the boxes.
Yeah, lovely place to be.
Great spot to watch from. I was fortunate enough on Friday, Ash, to be in the Amber Lounge with Brooks MacDonald. We had just at the table there. So I had the best of both worlds. I did the first half in the Amber Lounge, and then in the grandstand with the crowd. It was a cracking night.
Yeah, there's a great view wherever you sit here at Sapphire Gardens.
Colin Ingram again to weave his magic.
And don't forget, there's lots of cricket coming up here in Cardiff over the next couple of months. So the next match here in the Vitality Blast is on next Thursday, the 13th of June, as the visitors are Hampshire. And the good thing about that game, you're going to get extra value for your ticket if you come to that one, because it's a double header with the Western Storm playing Lancashire Thunder. Exciting Women's Cricket League. Would really encourage you to come along. Some great games being played there. Lofted reverse sweep. Again, it's a long boundary, but he's got enough on it. And that's a welcome boundary for Coles. He moves on to 47 and looks to be the man that Sussex need to stay. And more than stay, really, he's really got to
take it all the way.
Take it all the way,
yeah,
take it deep.
probably their last chance, realistic last chance now.
Yeah. Glamorgan leg spin's doing a good job.
You're talking about the value for money with the Western Storm match alongside the Hampshire game on the 13th. On the 20th, Bingo Lingo's in town. Whatever that is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure,
Well,
but Bingo Lingo against Gloucestershire and collaboration with Bingo Lingo. That could be an interesting night.
It could. Why not? Bingo Lingo, we will have to look at what that is.
Sure, the youngsters know, Ash.
Yeah.
He's done well here, Colin Ingram bowling his leg spins.
He is doing really well. Again, that one, bit of a hack across the line. Didn't really get all of it. So just another single. So, tidy over. And Sussex 114 for 5, 4 overs left, and now they are needing 17.5 an over, so
goes
it's
up quickly.
flying
It's
up.
just stopping those boundaries. Not too many boundaries, and happy days for the moment.
Been a great performance.
They just look sharp, haven't they, today, with all the way through. I think the intent that the skipper showed at the top of the innings with the bat, taking down the second over when they came in with the spin bowler. They took him down, just showed a great intent. That's kind of carrying on throughout the innings, and certainly in the field and with the ball. They've looked to take wickets. His captaincy's been very proactive, Kieran. As I said, first time I've ever seen 3 different leg spinners bowl, 3 overs on the bounce, and they all produced.
Yeah, all the
Got
bowlers
ball
chipping
back
in.
in the game.
So Lamb trying to innovate, trying to create something. Need to do that now. Need boundaries. Yeah, the wicket shared round for Glamorgan. 1 for McElroy, 1 for Van der Gooten, 1 for Douthwaite, 1 for Crane. Colin Ingram also got 1. Fuller delivery again. Just trying to not give them the chance to loft it up and get it over those short boundaries straight.
I haven't actually seen Dan Douthwaite bowl a slow ball yet today. He's bowled full pace on, but he's got a cracking slow ball as well.
That was a bit slower, but also misdirected. There's definitely 2 bounces to the keeper. Yeah. You sure he hasn't got an earpiece in?
Just put the curse on him there, unfortunately.
One bounce into the arms of the fielder down there.
Same delivery as that. Jamie Smith was just clearing the long gone boundary on Friday night, wasn't it?
It was incredible clean
It was
hitting.
a superb knot.
You can see why people are talking him up as a potential young keeper.
Yeah. Hold.
Douthwaite has a little go at the stumps. Keeps the batsman honest. Dissuades him from thinking about anything quick. We didn't know where it was, I think, Lamb. That was the problem. He was looking out over some on the offside, and it was much closer to him than he thought. So what are these Glamorgan players got to play for with 100 coming up?
Yeah, look, it's a big thing, isn't it? Two players from, hopefully from Glamorgan will come and represent Welsh Fire, and if it's not, they've got other franchises obviously to try and get into. But yeah, I think it's a cracking idea of setting up the Blast to have your, the 2 players to then come into each franchise. So 16 players have the opportunity of playing in the Bath, of that other potential knock-on for them as well,
Yeah.
An opportunity to play in the 100.
That's all coming up. Remember the Welsh Fire?
It's cracking over.
He's done really well. And Douthwaite Welsh Fire squad last year, off the back of his performances. Yeah, another really good over. Again, 1 for 24 off 3.
Did he go for 15, 16 in his first over? 10 down 3? 15 and 16, and he's come back there. He's terrific.
Done really well. Done really well. Yeah, it's been a terrific effort all round. Glamorgan have used 7 bowlers, so really sharing it around. With the 3 leg spinners, we've had an over of off spin.
And the skipper's not bowled himself.
Nope.
Mason Crane returning to bowl from the Cathedral Road.
So Mason Crane, they've all been good, the leggies, but he's just gone for 5 and over.
He's your main one, isn't he, Mason?
Yeah.
This is what he's been kind of signed for, and he did a job the other night, and he's doing a job again, super job again tonight.
Yeah, went short there. If he dragged that down, or it's a deliberate thing, just to try and make them hit square. We'll see. So just a single off the first one. 64 off 17. That's what Sussex need. And that.
Nicely done by Labuschagne.
Brilliant catch by Labuschagne. Brilliant catch. He caught it, stepped over, got the ball in the air, and then stepped back and re-caught it again. It was a long time in the air. Let's have a look back at this.
Composure, calm and composed there.
Marnus Labuschagne off the bowling of Mason Crane.
Here we go.
Catches it in the air, steps out. Makes it look easy. Very nicely done.
Very nicely done.
Well, that's exemplifies in one moment. That's the difference in the performances from Friday and today. Immaculate in the field today. Taking the chances that have come their way. Really tight in the ground fielding. Backing their bowlers up.
He'll be happy he's contributed with a good catch there now, Marnus. I'll hear about it tomorrow on the golf course in the morning.
So it's Nathan McAndrew now. Comes out to bat with a lot to do. You'd think potentially too much to do. 24 and over. So, yeah, every ball from now has got to go for a boundary. That's pretty much what that means. So, hugely encouraging performance for Glamorgan this. Their first win in this competition, you'd think for a while. This will be. I'm going to call it too early.
Well, something's gone horribly wrong if they don't win it from this position. I'll say it.
Yeah, it's difficult to see anything else but a Glamorgan win from here. But this is sport. Things can happen, but the required rate is now 26. Coles is there on 53. He's played really well and has anchored the Sussex innings, but hasn't really had any help. No one's been able to stick with him. Drives in the air. Has got enough on it. 3 fielders converge. And it's Carlson who wins the race. 2 more to the total.
Glamorgan need to keep pushing for wickets here, which I think they are doing very much so, because they know if they can extend and get a bigger run, a bigger winning margin than the 19 run loss the other day, that's going to be put their net run rate in a positive, and things like that play a big kind of part in these competitions, where if you get tight teams around that 2nd, 3rd, 4th spot, it all makes a difference. 5th, 6th, it can be decided on run rate. So I'm sure they will keep going. But a great spell there by Mason Crane comes to an end. 2 for 22 off his 4. Super stuff.
Very well bowled. Been excellent bowling. Had real control. The game has never got away from. There's not really been an over or phase where you felt that the game was getting away and they didn't have complete control. This has been an excellent performance. And
since the introduction of the spinners,
yeah,
I think that's very much been the case.
Yeah,
they turn the screw.
Yeah, they've got Sussex where they want them, I think, here. Yeah, it was only that second over of the day. Tom Bevan bowled. Well, they took 17 off it.
Yeah, I think Dan Douthwaite's first one went for 15 or something like that. Three back here, didn't they, to off full balls and then a back of the length ball. And apart from that, it's been a very impressive performance by Glamorgan today.
And again, another single. I won't mind that. So don't forget, Glamorgan look like they're on the going to get their first win of this competition, and they would really value and welcome your support as they continue into the competition. They've got a couple of away matches this week, but the next time they're back at home is against Hampshire on the 13th of June. And then the following Thursday when they welcome Gloucestershire here. And that has been bulleted back at Dan Douthwaite. He's got a hand to it, and that looks like it's hurting.
That could have saved him, that hand then, I think.
Comes back so fast.
Come fast.
Full toss. Oh, yeah. Got a hand to it. Incredible reactions even to get a hand to it, and it had so much power.
It's one of those you just want to make sure you get your head out of the way, really.
Oh, yeah.
At this stage of the match, I'm not worried about the catching that, really. Just worried about.
I don't think the boundary will make much difference. The overall result, though, that's definitely played. Beautifully played by Coles.
I think he was looking for the shorter ball after nearly pinning Douthwaite. He probably thought that he'll try and get his own back here and hit me, so I'll give myself a bit of room. Very good shot.
He did, played it really well. Shot. Delicate, used all the pace, guided it over the infield. So yeah, I think we can pretty confidently talk about a Glamorgan win here now. 136 for 6. Sussex going to be a long way short, I think, whatever happens here.
The crowd acknowledging that single was the last chance before that ball. Sussex needed to hit every ball out the ground to win the game. Obviously, with one only coming off that last ball, the required run rate is now 40.3. So, barring no balls, wides, free hits, all this kind of business, Glamorgan should romp home.
Yeah.
Wide and buys.
Chris Cook will be disappointed.
It was. I'll tell you what. You notice when Chris Cook does something like that, because very rarely does he.
Yeah.
He is
immaculate.
He is immaculate with the gloves and highly underrated, I think, in the county scene, apart from everyone who's played with him and knows him. Just incredible hands.
Great guy, puts a lot back as well into the game. Testimonial year, of course, this year. Very well deserved. Great servant of this club. You know, he does a lot of coaching, helping young wicket keepers as well. And so with one over left, Sussex 140 for 6. And they need 44 from this last over. Which, barring something extraordinary which we've never seen, sorry.
It would be a record, wouldn't it?
It would be a record. It would be a record. We're in that sort of territory. And it's going to be Tim van der Gooten who's going to bowl the last over. He's been excellent so far. 1 for 25 from his 3 overs. Dan Douthwaite finished with 1 for 38. And so, how can they finish it off? Can they bowl them out?
Tim would be very happy if we did bowl him out. He'd have 5 to his name then.
He would.
He's got 5 balls to get 4 wickets. Tough ask, Ash.
It is, it is.
I'll tell you what, he'd take 5 singles or 5 dots here. They'd be well happy with that.
They will. So this will be a decent margin of victory. either way, I suppose Sussex, all they can do now is just hope to close that as much as they can.
Definitely, yeah.
With the
That's why
result
Chris
gone.
Cook's knock the other night was so important, potentially.
Yeah. That's a good, strong, straight hit. And that's 4. Well, that'll help a little bit. McAndrew freeing his arms, hitting down the ground. No chance for Labuschagne running round. So Matt, just where do you think the difference has been today?
Look, I think we bowled really well. Our fielding has been terrific. Executed the plans. Our spinners, that in the two, between the two teams, our spinners have won us the game. The seamers have bowled well. Jamie McElroy at the top of the innings, 3 overs, 1 for 17 or something like that. Jamie Mack.
Yeah, 1 for 13.
1 for 13. Superb opening spell by him. But I think our 3 overs of leg spin, as I've talked about before. 3 different leg spin bowlers culminated in a wicket being taken, a wicket then the next over, and then a wicket the next over, and that for me was the turning point of the game.
Yeah, it's been outstanding. Everyone has chipped in. Good performance in the field. Catches going to hand.
Yeah,
Just
very
look
good
positive.
performance in the field. Innovative captain, as I talked about he went for a gut instinct on the plan. Didn't seem to that Tom Bevan was going to bowl a second, or he went for that. That plan didn't work, but he still trusted his gut to go with those 3 leg spinners: Mason Crane, then Marnus Labuschagne, then Colin Ingram, and Colin picked a wicket up.
And that's going to be a wide. It
So
is.
I like that. That he kept trusting his instincts,
Wide
trusting
ball.
his game. So hats off. And then our spinners combined, I think have done a terrific job. So
Yep, just 2 balls left. The result has gone. This is just really about Sussex, whether they can just get a few blows towards the end just to make the run rate a little bit better from their perspective. Just 1 more there. Good piece of backing up from Jamie McElroy just to keep it to 1. But this is a big morale booster for Glamorgan. They'll be delighted to get their first win on the board and to do it in such a comprehensive way as well.
yeah, a cracking performance all round by the guys.
Yeah, and
Points on the board.
And batting, I mean, they bowled well, Sussex. They did bowl well, and for Glamorgan, you look at their innings and think, actually, credit, 180 odd was a good score. That's a big one, and that's gone for 6. Well, that's going to help the run rate, but will have no effect on the result. That is it. Glamorgan have won their first Vitality Blast match of the season. A fantastic victory, a real morale booster. Kieran Carlson, all smiles in the Glamorgan ranks. That means a lot. It's been a terrific performance. And they can be really delighted now as they head to London later this week. Playing at Lord's, I think, on Thursday.
Yeah, they'll be pleased with that. As you say, they'll have a day off tomorrow now, and then probably a couple of days practice before the next game on Thursday night.
Yeah, a fantastic performance. So in the end, Sussex 158 for 6, falling some
26 runs.
26 runs short of what they needed, and so that's a great victory for Glamorgan. They're staying out in the middle, enjoying this moment, and really encouraging. The crowd here at Sapphire Gardens have been treated to a great performance from the home side, and they're on their feet now, having enjoyed the hospitality here and some great cricket. And the important thing for Glamorgan is that they have their first win on the board, and they'll go in a very positive frame of mind into next week's away matches before they return here next Thursday to face Hampshire. We hope if you're in the area that you might be able to come to and enjoy it. It's always a lovely evening here. Lots of food and drink. Come down, bring the family. Have your tea down here.
guessing the Western Storm match will kick off 2:30, 3 o'clock, something like that, before the 6:30 for the Kent on Thursday, is it the 13th?
So a double header, great value for your ticket, and a chance to see where Glamorgan can go. So hugely encouraging for them, their first victory of this campaign. They've really outplayed Sussex here today. Just to sum up what's happened in the match, Glamorgan made 183 for 7, batting first after winning the toss, and it was Sam Northeast who led the way with 61 from 43 balls. He anchored the innings, really put on 68 for the 4th wicket with Colin Ingram. Chris Cook was promoted up to number 3 and got 27 from 22 balls. There's some excellent bowling in the Sussex ranks. The captain, Tamal Mills, got 4 for 33. He was outstanding, bowled a beautiful variation and really kept them in it. Meant that Glamorgan never really got away when at one point maybe 200 looked possible. But then in the Glamorgan innings, well, what was fantastic really was just the way they bowled and fielded. Very tight, used 7 bowlers. McElroy got them off to a great start. 1 for 13 from his 3 overs, extremely tidy. And they just consistently kept taking wickets, didn't they? Kept the runs down. And that makes Sussex really, as the rate went up and up and up, I think they knew the game was up. And in the end, a comfortable 26-run victory.
I think they kept looking for wickets, that was the key, Ash. I think, they didn't just sit back and think, okay, we've just got to sit back here and just hope. They kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and that's always a great sign. I think with the addition of Mason this year, a bit of mystery spin, he gives that option that you can attack more, and we know Kieran Carlson's a very attack-minded captain. We've seen that all the time. He likes to keep his field up, to put the batters under pressure, try and beat them, and then create opportunities. A little bit like Stokes does, in the Test team and stuff like that. So he's really positive in mindset, and it does rub off on the players. And then if you've got someone like Mason who can come in and do his stuff, his wrongly came out lovely tonight. His leg spin is still, it's still nice. He's that's the one, but the wrong came out lovely tonight. And his best figures, 2 for 22 off his 4 overs tonight. Bowled beautifully.
Yeah, really outstanding. And to see 3 leg spinners bowling all at the same time, sort of interweaving, mixing it up. That's a nice option for a captain to have.
Yeah, man. And he used them smartly, wisely tonight, and got the result well-earned result. And see, they're getting the ropes out now for the players to go down and sign for the youngsters. There's a good crowd down there waiting for them. They'll probably sing the song first and then come down and sing.
Always one of the best bits here as well. If you bring the family down, they can go home with a full set of autographs, more than Glamorgan players. That's one of the nicest things here, really. Get to meet your heroes down there in front of the pavilion at the end. And so let me just sum up the bowling figures then. So Jamie McElroy, 1 for 13 from 3 overs. You'd have to say perhaps the pick, Mason Crane, 2 for 22 from 4, but backed up really, really well by Colin Ingram, very economical, 1 for 10 from 2 overs, so just going at 5s. And Marnus Labuschagne also contributed, only went for 14 from his 2 overs, so went at 7s. And Van der Houten, 1 for 43, picked up an important wicket as well of Tom Alsop. And an all-round comprehensive performance, 7 bowlers used, but everyone chipping in, and a much improved fielding display. So lots of positivity here at Sapphire Gardens. Glamorgan have won their first Vitality Blast match of the season, and we're looking ahead to what they can do in the weeks to come. Please join us again here on the Glamorgan Cricket YouTube channel on the live stream. We'd love to have your company. We're back here next Thursday for the visit of Hampshire. Please join us then. But for now, from Matthew Maynard and myself, it's been great to spend the afternoon with you, Matt.
Likewise.
Thanks very much for joining us, and we'll see you next time. From Sapphire Gardens in Cardiff, goodbye.